All
There you
right.
go. What's up, guys?
What's up? Tech boy, have
Perfect.
you figured it out yet?
Yeah, I'm building it.
All right. Sounds good. We don't have any viewers yet. I think it's because it's pretty late for people on the East Coast.
Mhm.
Um,
Yeah,
I hope some
it's
people actually tune in. Cam said he was going to come.
it's 10 o'clock for me, so it's like 11 for them.
Right. Jay said Jay's always here, so she'll probably be in the chat. Um, I don't know anybody else though that's going to be here. Usually I have like 7 or 8 people, but
hmm
we'll see.
I don't know. Some people. I told them I was live earlier for at 9:45 for me, and then I just told everybody to come over here.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I
Maybe
like
we'll see some.
I had 45 people in there, so I mean,
Okay. Hopefully something happens. Yeah, so America 250, huge deal. What are you guys doing for it?
honestly, my sister has to work on July 4th, so my so does my dad. So we're just kind of doing something tomorrow. We're going to probably go boating, and then just go to my aunt's house, pop some fireworks.
Oh, sweet. And they're legal where you are?
No,
Okay. Yeah, me either. How about you, Tech?
I'm not really sure. I have work, and of course I have my podcast. But I hope I can do some fun event. I'll call my brother because it's his birthday. But yeah,
You're gonna do your podcast on the 4th?
well, yeah, because it falls on a Saturday. So
Oh,
um,
okay. Yeah.
yeah.
Um, so Owen, how much do you know about presidents?
gosh, we're testing my knowledge right now. A
Because we're doing
little
all of
bit,
them.
little bit.
Okay. Yeah. I have some
I,
kind of crazy takes, so
Of
um,
course she did.
it's gonna be interesting. Yeah. Yep, Jay's here. All right.
Cool.
We have our first person. I think we can get started.
Are we gonna go
So
in order from number one to 47, 45?
I think you do
yeah.
last to first.
Well,
So
I
then
feel like
everybody,
it'd be more
I think we
interesting to
do
go first to
first
last.
to last.
really?
Yeah.
Yeah, because then no one's gonna be around when we're like talking about John Tyler or something. People are gonna be out
Yeah.
of here. But if we go like up to
Yeah,
Trump, people are gonna be
yeah,
waiting for that. So, so we might as well. All right,
yeah. It's a
George
big reveal.
Washington. I'll let Tech Boy start.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
When George Washington,
Where's
he's
George
the best.
Washington?
He's the best Georgia president that we've had. So obviously, I'm going to put him at S tier. I mean, he basically founded this nation. This nation probably wouldn't exist without him. So I think he's a great president. He unified the nation that were common with of the leaders of the time. So I'm not going to count those against him. So yeah, S tier president for sure. Obviously.
Okay, how about you?
Um, I honestly agree with Tech Boy. I don't see him being S tier. I like that he was in a good president, of course. He did found the country. I would probably put him A tier. I just don't see him being S tier, maybe a B tier, but probably A.
Me too. Okay.
George Washington, I'm gonna put in D tier.
I
Completely overrated leader. So first of all, I like a lot of the things that
what?
he did. What? What?
D tier.
Oh,
It
yeah.
wouldn't be a country
I
without
like a lot of the things that he. I don't care. Hold up. We could have had a better leader. We could have had a better leader because I like that he was neutral in foreign affairs. I like that he likes tariffs. But, bro, he started the national bank,
Yeah, that is true.
and that is probably one of the worst
Yeah,
things that
if
ever
I started
happened.
this nation,
The whole
if,
Hamilton
if
financial plan.
if it wasn't for George Washington, we wouldn't have a country. We wouldn't be sitting here right now if it wasn't for George Washington.
Uh,
We'd all be British or
no, I
French.
understand that you have to separate the. Whoa. Hold up. You have to separate the man from the president, okay? Because during his administration, he
That's what I'm
created the
saying.
national debt. Tech boy, you're
Well, I
cutting
mean,
out
any
so bad.
president
You need
would.
to figure out your mic.
Bro's logo is a Wi-Fi symbol, and he still doesn't have good Wi-Fi.
Yeah, your Wi-Fi is terrible. Yeah, I cannot barely hear you.
Okay, let me
He
see.
created the national debt, assuming all the state debts. That was bad. national bank, control of our finances, crony capitalism, bailing out big business and screwing the little guy, the little farmer. He crushed the whiskey rebellion with the army when we were literally founded on not having high taxes because Mr. Hamilton wanted to tax people to death. What else do I not like? Didn't believed in a big, strong federal government instead of states' rights. Trampled our constitution. Yeah, not. He's too much of a federalist for me.
He wrote part of it. Wow, is my mic better now?
Yeah, it's better. You're
Okay.
just off sync with your voice.
The camera just does that sometimes. I don't know why.
Yeah. He put us on a bad track. Let me just say that. We didn't get off to a good start with George
So who would have been a better president that was alive?
I mean, I'm not a fan of a lot of the founding presidents. Probably somebody more like Patrick Henry, or Paul Revere, someone more states' rights based instead of more tilting towards the Federalist side. Alexander Hamilton, worst founding father by far.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, he agrees with me. Come on.
Maybe not the worst.
He's terrible. I mean, like he wanted presidents to serve life terms. All right,
honestly,
I wouldn't be opposed.
Honestly,
I wouldn't be opposed to. I wouldn't be opposed to having no term limits, but obviously not life terms.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I don't see life terms. I think we make term limits bigger, like 16 years, not like 2 terms.
16? No.
You can only go for technically 4 terms instead of 2.
I think you should be able to go for as long as you want. I mean, if the people want you.
I mean, so then everybody gets their fair share of time, though. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
If there's a new guy, you know what I mean? That's what I think.
Oh, yeah. Annabelle's here. She's finally made an appearance in the last couple weeks.
She retired, but okay. As I was saying, I think that when you're talking about these term limits, especially in Congress, like I know everyone's like, "Oh, we got to get the old people out of Congress," yada yada yada. Look, if you're running a campaign and you can't beat a 91-year-old senile man, do you really deserve to be in Congress? Like,
are you talking about Bernie Sanders?
That's kind of a you problem. No, I'm talking about Chuck Grassley. He's like 94 years old, and people have not been able to beat him. That's kind of a you problem. If you can't beat a 94-year-old man who served since the Eisenhower administration, that's kind of your fault. Like I don't know.
He served since the Eisenhower administration. There's no way.
He's been in government since the 50s. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Oh, Cam's here too. All right, we're getting people. No,
great.
Yeah, I don't agree with term limits, but Alexander Hamilton wanted like the president to look like a king. And,
obviously, no, we don't want that.
Yeah, bro, he was Hamilton was Washington's right-hand man. This guy listened to Hamilton on everything and fucked us up that way. I do not like George Washington's leadership style. Dude, what are you laughing at? It's true. I know, like, I can't say that because everyone
I've never heard someone say
D-tier president. I don't care.
2 days before July,
I think okay.
George Washington was a bad president.
Honestly, I switched up. I'm probably gonna put a B, but I don't think D. I think D's a little far.
Yeah, D's for like president.
D's a little far.
Like
D's for like Biden.
Yeah, I mean,
D's for like Biden that didn't do shit.
We'll see. We'll see as we go down here. That's okay, guys. You guys can be,
oh my gosh, if you have
go with the crowd, do what's popular. I'll be on my own over here. All right, we'll move on.
If you make Biden over Washington,
I'm not.
John Adams. Okay, so
Washington, stop.
I'm just saying. Let's hope not. Okay, I mean, he is the father of the Navy, even though he. Sorry, no. Yes, yeah. I'm looking at my notes. I have that right. He put down a rebellion. He is the father of the Navy, another founding father. I think most of the founding fathers who were presidents, I'm gonna put him in A tier. Not as good as Washington, but he's still a pretty good president. Helped form the nation, and he gave off to a child who became president. So I'm gonna put him in A tier. I have respect for the founding fathers.
Gay. All right. Owen.
Yeah, I don't know too much about Adams, honestly. I haven't really done a lot of research on him. I do like that he was still advocating for independence. That's one thing I do like. I think he low key did put Techwood did put him too high. I don't think he's an A. I mean, he was a founding father, but I don't think he's an A. I think I put him at like C.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah,
I'm trying to
I'm
find
gonna
this
go D
here.
again
D.
because hear me out, okay? Hear me out. Hear me out. I'm trying to think. So George Washington was D. I think he got us off to a really bad start. John Adams just continued that decline. He was okay with the National Bank. He kept Hamilton's financial system. Alien and Sedition Acts. I don't know if you guys in the chat know about this, but John Adams
The
passed a
Alien
bill
Act.
that anybody that was against the administration, he could throw into jail for printing unflattering things. That's a dictatorship. I do appreciate how he handled the quasi-war with France. He did a really good job in diplomacy that way, kept us out of
Yeah.
war. He really built up the Navy really well, but because he was okay with the system that was already in place, and Alien and Sedition Acts is an abomination, I'm going to give him a D.
Well, the alien part was fine. He was deporting the French, which is fine. The sedition part is the part that's bad. It's anti-American. Yeah. So that's
I
why
totally
he's
agree with that.
that's why he's A.
Techwood, look at the chat.
Can I see what the chat? Okay.
It's someone said Techwood, why do you laugh like a hyena with bronchitis?
You do, and it's worse when you're cutting out. So
Crazy.
yeah.
Wait, who's this? Ironclad Fire says Bill Adams weren't great presidents.
She's not wrong. Yeah.
No, Ron Jefferson.
He fought off the Tripoli Barbary. No, that was Thomas Jefferson. And,
yeah.
We're about to get to him. We're about to get to him.
All right. Yeah. Thomas Jefferson. Where's he going?
Thomas Jefferson. So, I think he's a great president. He was in No Good Nick, or he was played in No Good Nick, and they said he was bad because, he did something with a slave or whatever. Irrelevant, okay? They were all doing stuff with slaves. No one cares.
Yeah, we're talking about presidency.
Yeah, well, I mean, he did that while he was president, so I think that kind of counts. But
I mean, in office, the actions of the administration. Yeah.
Anti-etiquette, I think that's pretty American, right? When he came into the Capitol and he was getting inaugurated, he didn't come on a carriage or anything. He just walked up to his friends. He wasn't super fancy. If he was president today, he'd take his inauguration in jeans and a t-shirt, which is how I'm going to take my inauguration.
That's gay.
What, jeans and a t-shirt?
Yes.
Yeah. Have some respect, bro. Sorry, go ahead. I need to stop interrupting.
He fought a war in the Middle East. He lowered debt by shrinking the Navy, so that's kind of interesting there. And he, as my thing says, I'm going to be focusing on faith and foreign policy because that's what people look to me for. So he expanded the United States of America by getting the Louisiana Purchase. So foreign policy at this time is going to be more of what's on our own continent, North America, rather than focusing on, other countries over on like Europe or the Middle East or whatever. I think the Louisiana Purchase is an amazing thing. It's great for America, obviously. I mean, it's a third of America. Getting that land was good. I don't know if you agree with me on that, but I think that was
totally
good. So I'm going to put him at, I'll also put him at A tier. I think that getting that land was good. I don't like that he cut military spending, but we did win a war, so that's fine.
Yeah, I don't have the notes that y'all have. So I'm using AI. But so yeah, I do like that he did do the I do like the Louisiana Purchase. That was one of the main things I already had in mind for him. I don't like that he did do military cutting, so I do have to agree with Techboy on a little of this. But I don't think it's an A tier. I think actually I'll put him at B.
B, okay. I'm making a list right now.
I mean, he did double the size of the U.S. though. Yeah,
that's amazing.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go D again. I promise I'm not gonna.
Do you like any presidents? Like,
hold on, guys. You have to let me explain myself. Yes, Louisiana Purchase was good. That's a fantastic achievement. He cut taxes. He cut size of government. However, he made a lot of huge mistakes. Number one, he really shrunk the size of the military and navy, which ended up fucking us over in the War of 1812. That was a horrible idea. And then he put on the Embargo Act on France and Britain in the end of his term, which destroyed our economy. Basically, if you guys don't know what that is, it was he was blocking any imports or exports, anything coming in for it in the entire world or coming out. And that was something that we couldn't do when we didn't have a manufacturing base really built up yet. And so everybody suffered. Also, he was okay with Marbury v. Madison in 1803. He just let the Supreme Court take on the function of being able to strike down federal law that would come and bite us in the ass a lot later on a lot of things. And so because of his weak leadership and not prioritizing a strong nation, free trade and other thing, that was an awful idea for the first 6 years of his presidency. I have to put him in D.
I think it's kind of funny that, I mean, your positions have kind of flipped as we see now, but I'm going to stay with what I'm looking at when I'm making these presidents, obviously putting the United States interests first. And also I'm going to be looking for what they did for faith as well, primarily the Christian faith, right? Because we
did jack shit for the Christian faith.
nation. So I'm just saying for all the other presidents that I'm counting, but it's not like it's the 1800s, so we can't really get into that yet. But when we get later into like the 1900s, I think it's going to be pretty interesting.
Okay. All right, Mr. Madison. Oh, unless anything else you guys want to say.
Oh, no, that's all. So Madison, War of 1812, the second War of Independence, as many are saying, our national anthem was written in that battle, right? We kind of tied. So, I think he did a decent job on that. He was going up against the most powerful nation on earth, and we survived. We did not lose any land to them, and we're still a nation today. So I think that his leadership during that turned out to be well. Some of it was providential. I was doing notes for a debate on how America is going to be a Christian nation. And, I learned that God sent a rainstorm to help put out the fire when the White House is burning down. In domestic policy as well, we have tariffs and a national bank. Tariffs, they might have been good at this time. National bank, probably not good. And the first highway, he was the Eisenhower of his time with the Cumberland Road, which is the first highway. I think it still exists today. So I think that's pretty interesting. Madison, I think I'm going to give him a B tier.
For me, Madison, he led the war. He led us through the nation through the War of 1812, and then he secured true American values, or like sovereignty, from Britain, and kind of showed America like what it is. What are you laughing at, Tech Boy? Like, holy!
What? Yeah, no. Dude. What? Let him. You seem like a snob right now.
Well, sorry, I'm just looking at the. I'm dragging him up to the place, so if it looks like I'm looking good, it's fine.
No, but yeah, I feel like.
Okay. Sorry, go ahead.
No, you're good. No, I honestly would put Madison at probably a B.
B. Okay.
Is that it? Is that all you have to say?
Yeah.
All right. I promise this is the last one in the string of D's that I'm putting. But this is the last one. The next one won't be a D. But James Madison, he's the worst one so far, and this is why. Why would he drag us into the War of 1812 after Thomas Jefferson spent his entire 2 terms defunding the military? We almost got destroyed. I do believe it was God's providence that pulled us through. But 3 years, lots of casualties. The fucking White House got burned. Renewed the National Bank, which would be super harmful in the next presidency with the panic of 1819. Infrastructure bills, unconstitutional. Federal government can't take on that responsibility. So, hypocritical president, because everything that he was against during Adams' term in Washington, he ended up doing. So for that reason, he'll be the last in the string of 4, but I think the first 4 presidents were pretty awful.
Well, I mean, for the War of 1812, it's not really his fault. I mean, they were impressing our soldiers and or just random merchants and forcing them onto boats. I mean, we had to do something about that.
Not necessarily. Adams did that very well. He kept it low key. It was a small naval war kept in the seas,
Mhm.
and without any declaration. At the military was stronger during Adams' term also, and so there's a way that you do this with diplomacy. I believe that the deal was Britain was charging a fee if you wanted to go into Europe to trade, and France was saying that they would steal any ship that would trade with Britain, and we ended up siding with France. I think it would have been more pragmatic to pay the toll to Britain and deal with France, because
Well,
France's military was destroyed. It was at an awful time during the late Napoleon years. So Britain was the bigger threat. We have to think, not in terms of who's good or bad, but
yeah, I mean, France. I guess they might have felt some sort of debt to them. Obviously, they helped us in the revolution, so that memory would still be fresh in their minds.
yeah, but it was the monarchy. It wasn't Napoleon's government. That's a completely different government and
True.
constitution.
I
So
mean, it would have been advantageous for us to prolong the war between Napoleon and the English to just keep them distracted. So maybe that's where
yeah,
he thought they were going.
probably something
All right,
like that.
Monroe.
Monroe.
Monroe Doctrine. I think that's pretty cool. He wanted to have influence in the Southern Hemisphere. Obviously, we should have that. He got us Florida. I think that's a great state. There was a debate there with all the governor candidates debating on the PBD podcast today. So, important
True.
state. He's helped unify the nation, and he got his treaties with England. But he was weak on the Panic of 1819. So, I'm going to give him. It's pretty good foreign policy with the treaties, but not good domestic policy. He gets beef.
All right, Owen.
Yeah, the Monroe Doctrine, that was pretty good. He protected the Western Hemisphere from Europe colonization.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, don't know too much about him. So probably would say a C.
See,
But
okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna say B. I think he's the best one yet that we've had. He wasn't reckless. The Monroe Doctrine was a masterstroke to get Europe not involved anymore in our affairs. He was pretty restrained as a president, didn't try and get involved in the economy too much. He emplaced a very helpful tariff that helped boost our industry. He didn't get rid of the second bank, though, which caused the Depression. And I think that the Missouri Compromise was a really bad deal because, we shouldn't have compromised with the South in this case, in my opinion. I think that when each state was being annexed, Congress should have decided, whether to make it a slave state or a free state instead of saying, above this line is free states, below it is slave states. That's going to be a huge problem in the next couple decades that we go through is the compromising with the South. And I think that's a bad deal.
Okay.
Fair?
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. John Quincy Adams?
So he had continuity with his cabinet. He wanted to do a lot of building. Didn't get that far, but he wanted to do a national university, a naval academy, and an observatory. He was weak on the Indians, but he wanted to move westward. He expanded trade. He lost his election. The tariff of 1828 was unpopular. He's going to get a C class from me.
All right, Owen?
Quincy Adams. Yeah. Tech Boy is literally saying everything that I have written down from what I was reading. So,
Bro, Tech Boy, stop reading AI. I came here prepared.
I'm not. I took these notes. It took me hours.
Okay. Fair enough.
well, it's like almost the exact same. That's why I'm like, how is this happening?
just give us give us your honest opinion with what you have. No judgment here.
Yeah, my honest opinion with what this Gemini is giving me is honestly I'd give him a C.
Okay.
So just
Why?
Dude, it's literally what Tech Boy said. Like, I can't say anything, bro.
Okay,
Literally.
that's fine. That's fine.
Literally Gemini saying the exact same thing.
Yeah. I think if he actually
I'd sign.
executed his ideas, I'd give him a D, but I won't because he didn't get to execute his ideas. I mean, these ideas of, massive internal improvements and having a national observatory with taxpayer money and creating a national university, that's a straight way to indoctrinate people if the federal government gets too big. He didn't get to pass
And
through
with an
those ideas
observatory?
because Congress was like, yeah, why would we do that with taxpayer money? I don't think farmers should have to fund,
It's like NASA.
like rich people. Yeah, why should we have to
That-
fund NASA?
What NASA's amazing. Oh my goodness.
Dude, it's not the government's job to fund like private companies.
Well, NASA's not a private I think we should fund some level of space travel. I mean, think about all the great things that we have from the space race of the 60s now. I mean, I think learning more about the world is an important thing, and the government should fund at least some of that. I mean, the United States is a leader in science and technology because of some of that funding.
No, but if you have the government picking winners and losers, then certain science wins and certain science doesn't. And that's the problem. Well,
right. Well, I mean, with an observatory, you're just looking at the sky. I mean, it's not like they're trying to indoctrinate them into thinking that, we came from monkeys or whatever. We're just looking at the stars.
No, I'm saying that's with the national university. The national university.
Oh, I was talking about the observatory. I don't think we should have a national university.
Yeah, national observatory. I mean, I guess, but why not just have, private funding for that? No farmer in 1827 wants to be taxed to fund a national observatory.
I mean, we got to think about the United States, not just in 1827. He has to have the foresight, obviously, of knowing that the world's going to become a better place in 50 years. But would you support the Library of Congress when it became into existence or no?
I'll have to think about that one. I'm not sure. Me too. I'm a strict constitutionalist, so any power.
Well, I mean, I think the people that wrote the Constitution know it better than you.
He didn't write the Constitution.
No, not him. But when the Library of Congress came in, the people who were there, who built the Library of Congress, also wrote the Constitution or around when it was being written.
A lot of the founding fathers admitted that they were going against the Constitution. So, by that logic, that doesn't work.
Well, I guess that's what you get for putting George Washington a D.
Yeah, but look, if the Constitution doesn't expressly grant the federal government a power, it is not given to them. And that's why you have such a big government now, is because the government is taking on roles that doesn't belong to them. So that's the main reason that I'm against Quincy Adams's ideas. However, he didn't get to implement them. So what he did implement was a tariff of 1828, which was really good and helped bolster our industry in a time of that we really needed it.
It was really very unpopular.
It was unpopular, but the entire manufacturing base of the U.S. is growing throughout the 1800s. So for that reason, I'm going to give John Quincy Adams a B. Feel free to crash out.
I mean, it did get repealed, so I'm not 100% anti-tariffs. I'm just looking at the history.
Yeah, I mean, the tariffs, we wouldn't have a manufacturing powerhouse without them. So, am I wrong, Tech Boy?
So you put him at C? You put him at C or D?
I put him at B.
B?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Let me check. Make sure I have him up there for you.
We only have one viewer now. Oh, no. We had 6 at some point. Come on, guys.
It's going to get more interesting. So, I mean, Calvin Coolidge for Owen's going to be like S tier because he shut up.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see about that. All right. Andrew Jackson. Let's go. All right. Let's get to
Andrew
this winning
Jackson, the
team.
only based Democrat, but he did start the Democrat Party, so he does lose points for that. I mean, that kind of destroyed America in the long run. So he loses points for that. He hated the British, which is very American. Okay, if he was alive today, he'd hate the British still. He did Doge before Doge was cool. He found in 2025 dollars, 8.5 million missing dollars in the federal government. He was in the John Timberlake petticoat affair with sluts, and you guys know how I felt about them. And then, of course, he ignored the Supreme Court, which I know Owen, he hates the Supreme Court, so ignoring them is great. The Indian Removal Act, people pretend to hate that. I don't know. Get over it. I don't know. And he signed an executive order ending the deposit of treasury receipts in the bank, and he fired 2 secretaries of the Treasury because they didn't want to do what he said. So he's pretty cool. Also, he did a duel when he was almost assassinated. He beat the guy who tried to assassinate him with his cane, so that's pretty cool. And unfortunately, he did curb free speech with anti-slavery publications. He stopped them from being mailed out with the post office, and he appointed 6 terrible justices. So I'm going to give him a C. Very very cool, just not the best president.
Yeah, a lot of what Tech Boy said. He was based. He was a Democrat though, which he started that shit party. Like we would have no Barack Obama if he didn't start it.
Oof.
I'm joking.
I mean, it might be true. I mean,
Yeah,
that's kind of that's true.
Yeah, we wouldn't have a Joe Biden if he didn't start it. So that does deduct some points, but he did pay off the national debt in 1835.
He did.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give Andrew Jackson an S. The first S tier president. I don't know if he's my favorite. He's top 5 somewhere. He might be.
I don't know.
Favorite.
He has to lose points for being a Democrat. I'm sorry,
dude. The Democratic Party then is not the Democratic Party now at all.
I know. I know, but I'm just saying, like,
they're not even.
We would have no Democratic Party though. That's a good thing. We would have no Democratic
Republican Party then. It was a different system.
Well,
Andrew Jackson. What's that?
So you think Andrew Jackson's a greater president than George Washington?
Million times better, dude. Andrew Jackson got in there. The government was corrupt. It was too big under John Quincy Adams. There was a lot of people. He recovered all that money, cut government size, cut taxes, paid the only president to pay off the national debt to $0, 0 cents. What else? The tariff. He went and enforced the tariff. South Carolina said, we're not having this tariff. And Andrew Jackson wasn't having it because he wanted our manufacturing to be strong and he wanted to pay off the debt and get some revenue. So he sent troops down there to enforce it. He destroyed the second bank of the United States, the most masterstroke of genius and most important policy decision in the history of the U.S. It was being controlled by the Rothschilds that were, screwing Americans over with inflated currency. He created this specie circular to make sure things were back if you had to pay for land in gold and silver coin, like the Constitution intended. The only problems I have with him were, I think he shouldn't have used the federal government with the Indian Removal Act. That he should have left that up to Georgia, and also he shouldn't have put money in pet banks after abolishing the national bank.
I think that curtailing free speech is bad. Actually, that's why I put him in C.
Oh, I didn't even know about that. So that's not great. I agree.
Yeah,
but
he gets to stay in S.
Okay. He'll stay in S because of all the other things. I mean, I can't think of any president that's executed my agenda better than him. Maybe some of the ones that are in my other top 5 in the 1920s, but we'll see. What do you think of my take?
Just insane, honestly. Like he's a decent president, right? I'm not one of those
It could
Andrew
be worse. It
Jackson
could.
haters, Joy Reid. Oh, oh, he's a racist. Oh, he was mean to the Native Americans. Blah blah blah. No, I'm not one of those people. I'm just thinking. I don't know. I think that George Washington is a better president than him. I mean, at least it's not the dumbest presidential take I've ever heard before in my life.
Honestly, it could have been worse. It could have been like you putting Biden in A, so it
Well,
could have been
maybe.
worse.
I am
Or you
going to
putting
put him. No,
Biden
I'm
in.
just kidding. I'm not.
Well,
Um,
Biden technically didn't do anything, so he might put him in
Yeah,
there.
he didn't do anything right or wrong. So like,
He wasn't president actually.
I argued today. You should
autopilot
have
was
heard Tech
president.
Boy. I was talking about how much I loved Andrew Jackson on the radio, and some Indian guy called in. And I didn't know he was. I mean, Native American Indian. I didn't realize he was, and I was like debating him on the Indian Removal Act, and then like it was getting like kind of heated. I was like, why is this guy so upset? And then he hung up the phone, and then my the boss of the show was like, whoa, we're so glad to hear from Byron. He's one of the most intelligent natives. And I was like, oh my gosh.
So yeah, I mean, also you also said that you aren't proud to be an American on that show as well. So there is also that.
I said that I wasn't proud to be an American in the sense that there's so much going wrong now. I'm not proud to be part of this establishment, but I'm proud of my heritage in my country.
I'm proud to be American at any time in any place in history, especially right now. I was proud to be an American under Joe Biden. I'm proud to be an American under President Trump. I don't know. I think that it's kind of funny that you're saying that George Washington is D-tier and that you're not proud to be an American right now. I mean, radical left. I mean, you sound like my mother.
I'm not radical left. I would not be putting Andrew
I
Jackson
mean,
in S tier
you
if
you
I was
have
radical left.
you have a different reason why, but you come to the same conclusion that you're not
Mhm.
proud to be an American and you don't like the founding fathers. So I mean,
dude, look, I'm proud of this country. I'm proud of the Constitution. I'm proud of our culture. I'm proud of our heritage. What I'm saying is I'm not proud of our government, which is
well, that's different than are you being proud to be an American? Like being an American.
I said on the show that I'm proud to be an American in that sense. I'm not proud to be, under the American government, the current government.
Oh, I don't think you'd be proud to be under any government that we have in the next, I don't know, 200 years.
Andrew Jackson's government, I would be proud.
Andrew Jackson's not coming back from the dead, bro.
I'm gonna raise him from the dead.
Wow.
We've been through 7 presidents and we're already at 40 minutes.
Okay, I'm sorry, dude.
No, I'm just saying, like, that's insane.
It's not like I have anything to do, so.
Yeah, I don't have anything either.
Yeah, not tonight. We can move on though.
Van Buren. I used to like him because I liked his picture, but he's kind of a simp, overrated, pro-slavery. He got peace with Mexico, but had government overreach. The 1837 panic. D-tier.
Yeah,
Nothing else?
Maintain national peace by until.
He's a Democrat. He's a Dumbocrat, guys. He has cool hair.
Dude, the Democrats were different then, dude. You can't use that argument.
Well, they were pro-slavery. I'm also anti-slavery.
Me too. Martin Van Buren was not pro-slavery. He literally was the nominee of the Free Soil Party. He was the nominee of the Free Soil Party.
Did he? Well, he must have changed his opinion while in office. Then
he was not pro-slavery. Sorry, Owen, go ahead.
Oh no, you're good. He maintained national peace, and avoiding annexation from Texas or of Texas.
Yeah. It's kind of sad. We should have annexed Texas before starting war.
But yeah. And then resolving the border disputes with Canada. Honestly, I'd put him at C. I'd put everybody at C, I feel like, but
just give me a second real quick. I just want to check my notes here. So masterstroke policy was, Andrew Jackson did the work. He paid off the debt. He destroyed the second bank, but he made a mistake when he put the funds in pet banks who, just encouraged reckless borrowing and spending, which created the panic of 1837. Van Buren was smart enough to create the independent treasury system, which was basically that, the government holds government funds instead of loaning them out to banks who can be super reckless with them. He was a states' rights president. He was against internal improvements, federal infrastructure projects under that. Hey, these are powers for the states. He was a anti-interventionist, which I love. So I think that he was pretty America first.
Mhm.
Yeah, altogether, he's pretty good. There's one thing that drops him for me, and as someone that believes all people are created in the image of God, and I do get sentimental about this kind of thing, or is that he really did a bad job with the Indian Removal Act. A lot of innocent people died under. He didn't intend them to die, but the policy was just very poorly managed to take the natives from Mississippi over to Oklahoma, and I can't get through that because of the loss of life there. So I would have given him an S, but because of that, I have to say B.
B.
Yeah.
Okay.
Why you guys are like smiling at all my takes? You're like about to like burst out laughing. What is this?
Would have given him an S?
This is going to be a very interesting looking list when we're done.
Yeah, see,
Person would have given him an S. Like, come
most
on.
people when they do these streams, they're like, "Oh yeah, Washington, Abraham Lincoln, they're so good." They're just like, I don't know. Like, I want to be honest and actually look at the underrated presidents, and I feel like mainstream historians have completely lied to us all these years, and so, you know, I'm just telling it like it is. Okay, Tech Boy, so you can be smug over there in your little corner on your high horse, but I'm not having any of it.
Hyena laughing.
Yeah, hyena laughing. I'm not having it.
All right, next president.
Okay.
William Henry Harrison. He died, but he did do something interesting before in the 31 days that he wasn't dead. He said to Henry Clay, you forget that I am the president. So he kind of owned him. So William Henry Harrison, he's gonna get a B for me for that. He didn't do anything to mess up the nation, and he did own Henry Clay. So that's a B2 behavior from me.
Yeah, I mean, he didn't do enough to make me put him anywhere.
Well, he wasn't alive long enough. He was alive for 31 days.
Yeah, that's like it. I mean, I'll put him at B, but I mean, he really didn't do enough because he was alive for 31 days.
He's kind of a bum if you think about it.
Bro dies after 30 days. It's just like, wear your coat for fuck's sake while you're giving your inaugural address.
Like,
he didn't die because of
He could have been an
pneumonia.
S tier on my list for all we know. I probably would have given him an S if he didn't die.
he didn't do enough. He didn't do anything.
I'll give him a B. I'll give him the benefit of the doubt because like he could have been too good. Everything he did was good. Yeah, and Henry Clay was an asshole too. So I
Or lasted a week, like a month. Like, come on.
We'll put William Henry Harrison above George Washington.
Yeah, he's a better president than George Washington.
What would put a rock above George Washington?
I'm serious.
Okay,
he might be gone too soon. Yeah. All right, let's move on.
I'm trying to find his picture.
Sorry, I was dying.
I can't find his picture. It's in black and white. We'll just move on from that.
All right, your phone's at 10. Grab a charger.
Tyler. He asserted that he was president of the United States. Gosh darn it! Even though he was being called people sent him letters, called him Mr. Vice President or the acting president, and he just returned them unopened. So he kind of owned the people there who were not treating him with respect that he was due. He investigated waste, fraud, and abuse. He helped us get Hawaii. He wanted Oregon. Florida became a state in his last day as president, but he lost his election. I mean, I think it's pretty cool. He's basically like William Henry Harrison, disrespecting
2.0.
his opponent. And then he lost his election because he's also a bum. and they didn't even get the law codified that the vice president becomes president of the United States until 1967. So it's kind of sad on his part.
All right.
Wow.
C tier.
It's 2026, and you're saying 6-7.
Yeah, that's
Well, it's
so
sad.
That's the law.
2025.
Bro got left. John Tyler. He signed the Webster-Ashburton Treaty, permanently settling the northern boundary with Maine and Canada.
Should have been higher.
Yeah. Honestly, I think with what he did, I'd probably put him at. I feel like I put everybody at B and C.
Yeah, bro. What is this?
I don't know. At least I'm not. At least they're not all in D. It's fine. But I think I have to give him a C.
I'm gonna go with S.
Okay, let me
probably. He was probably one.
I was just rage baiting at this point. Just hit me, Will.
He was probably one of our best presidents that we've ever
I
had.
see how it is.
Probably was.
Look,
Probably
guys,
might have been, guys.
I
Maybe.
value a president that does his job and stays out of people's shit. To be honest, I like.
And then he lost re-election.
So what?
Makes him
That
kind of a
doesn't
bum.
matter. Trump lost in 2020.
And then he won again, so that doesn't count.
Yeah, John Tyler didn't run again. So no, John Tyler.
Well, he should have.
John Tyler. He didn't. He believed in restraint. He vetoed the national bank. He kept our tariffs high. He didn't let Henry Clay push him around. Henry Clay was always trying to be president. He didn't get involved in the Dorr Rebellion. They wanted him to send the National Guard. He said, no, let the states handle their own problems. I love that. He was good in foreign policy. Like you said, Owen, Webster-Ashburton Treaty of 1842 settled the Canada border dispute and enforced the Monroe Doctrine by telling England to stay out of Hawaii.
Yeah.
And annexed Texas at the end there. And that was a huge win for us. I mean, what would America be without Texas? And so for that reason,
Yeah, I would be Mexican.
he didn't really do anything that I didn't like. So I'm going to have to give him an S.
My Houston Astros from Texas,
Yeah, they got
we wouldn't be here.
Hey?
Oh,
There
go
you go.
Texans! Go Texans!
Yes. All right, now, James K. Polk, the only good Democrat, and also the 51st stater, the original 51st stater. He called Texas the 28th state before it became a state in his first speech. Very cool. He was very tough on Mexico, did that Mexican-American War, which Owen told me he didn't like, but I like the Mexican-American War because we won. We won.
I
that
never
war.
said I didn't
So
like
think
that.
that's
What do
pretty
you
cool.
mean, bro?
Me.
Not you.
Oh.
You.
I swear, you need to specify, bro.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, what is he talking about?
Sorry. So the Mexican-American War, very great war, honestly. We had some great generals trained in that war. General Robert E. Lee. That's why we have statues of him. I think he was a good general, even though people want to hate on him. He got us Texas.
Yep.
Okay, that's great. We got some of Oregon County. I don't know if Oregon's worth it, but we did get that. And we got California. I don't know if that's worth it, but we did get that too as well. So he got us a lot of land. He expanded the United States of America. He reestablished the independent treasury system. So what? I'm giving him, honestly, S tier. He got us like half of America and some of the best states, Texas and California, which is what drives our economy today.
California, a good state? What are you talking about?
California is like the largest economy. If it was its own country, it's largest in Japan, largest in
It's
Germany.
a shit state,
I know
bro.
us Republicans
Gavin
like
Newsom
to
as
hate on.
governor. What
I
do
know
you
we
mean?
like to hate on California, but I mean it is a very important state to
Yeah,
this
it
nation.
is.
Okay?
It's got 30-something electoral
That's
votes
why.
for a
That's
reason.
why Gavin Newsom is so disastrous as governor. He's basically president of his own country over there, and he's destroying one of our best states. So that's why it's so bad. It's not like he's destroying like North Dakota or whatever.
Hey,
like,
don't hate on North Dakota. I got family there, buddy.
I'm just saying, like, if we had to give up California or North Dakota,
I'm taking Oregon.
we're giving away
I'm
North
giving up
Dakota.
Oregon.
Sorry.
I don't care.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, Oregon's also useless. They're liberal and useless.
Yeah.
So there's that. But I'm gonna give him James K. Polk S tier.
I bet. Yeah, established the Smithsonian Institution and opened a U.S. Naval Academy. And then did the U.S. Mexico War or Mexican War. Did get California. That wasn't in my notes. And he got us those good states. I mean, yeah, if the Republican Party gets California the 30 electoral votes, let's be real, we wouldn't have that without him. So he probably is an A tier for me.
Me too.
Okay, Tech Boy, you like the Mexican-American War, where we marched troops into disputed territory, and when they struck, we just called war, and 39,000 people died.
W.
If we didn't have that, we wouldn't have tacos.
I'm not in favor of death. I'm not in favor of death, but I am in favor of what we have now, the Mexican-American War. We got our states. I am in favor of that war.
So,
39,000 people for that. You think that's worth it? Innocent people,
do I think
families
that
losing
do I think
their
that
kids.
Texas is worth, I'm sorry, more than 39,000 people. We have like 30 million people there now.
So actually, I think us getting tacos is worth 39,000 people.
The Houston Texans, the Astros,
yeah.
NASA,
Kennedy
I love
Space
Texas.
Center.
I think that I'm worth 39,000 people. I mean, think about it. If he did not get Texas, I would be speaking Spanish right now. I'd be Mexican. I'd be hopping the border.
Yeah,
so
I wouldn't be legal.
Having Texas and California, we know that the Texas territory includes all of these states, Colorado as well. So amazing. Duh.
Okay, Owen Thompson, would you go and die in the Mexican-American War?
No, I'm not Mexican.
On the American side.
Yeah.
We win. There are wars that
I wouldn't die because I'd win.
That I would not, and that's not one of them. It's not worth it, and I'm not going to ask anyone else to go.
I would die for the Houston Texans to win a Super Bowl. Yes.
Oh my God! All right, whatever.
I would die for the Houston Texans for a Super Bowl. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Polk was okay. Otherwise, he was a free trader, which I don't like. He reestablished the independent treasury. I don't like free traders. They hurt our country. Manifest Destiny, I love. I agree. Hey, we're expanding north, and if the Indians want to fight us, then we have to defend ourselves. I mean, spreading capitalism.
So you like Manifest Destiny just without all the fighting?
No, we didn't create the fight with Manifest Destiny. It was them saying, don't come here, and we were trying to spread our good values to the coast.
So we tried to spread our good values to Mexico as well. I mean, look, we are the United States of America. We can put our troops wherever we want. And if they attack, then they're going to get destroyed. I mean, they had that coming.
No, the federal government declared war on Mexico. They didn't.
Yeah, they declared war
on the Indians for the most part.
No, because we put the troops in disputed territories, and then they attacked first. And if you touch an American, then we obviously are going to declare war on you.
Let it happen naturally instead of having the federal government send people to die.
I mean, that's basically what Manifest Destiny is. I mean, it was God's will for us to have this land.
No, I'm not disputing the land part. Manifest Destiny was organic for the most part. It was settlers going over there, getting in skirmishes. I'm not for the military aspect of that. I'm not against the land thing.
I think that having the military go into Mexico is better than having these random settlers go into Mexico.
Why?
A lot more lives would have been saved.
I don't know about that.
Having a professional military doing this, and we also had some of our generals were trained for the Civil War, which I think was also great as well.
But it wasn't. The people that went west in Manifest Destiny were choosing their fate. A lot of these people in the military.
Well, I mean, the people in the military chose to be there too.
They chose to be in the military, but they didn't choose to go in there, and it had nothing to do with their own.
When you join the military, you're joining to sign up to fight for the United States. You're not joining to pick and choose what war you want to fight.
But you're signing up to. At least I hope you're signing up to fight like honorable wars.
You don't think the Mexican-American War was an honorable war?
Not really. I mean, I think that it was better when settlers were doing the fighting because
Why? So
here's what. Hold up. It was because they were defending their immediate interests instead of some, vague notion of James K. Polk's ego.
but I don't think it's all ego to have Texas. I mean, we see the benefit that Texas, California, and Colorado have to the United States today. Democratic politicians not understanding. They're very beneficial to the United States of America. I mean, if it wasn't for James K. Polk, we'd be less powerful, less strong, and less economically independent than we are right now. So I think
I'm not for 39,000 people dying. I'm not for the military.
Think about the people that lived because of James K. Polk. Yeah, 39,000 people died, but we have 40 million people in California, 30 million people in Texas that are living better, freer lives because of James K. Polk.
The ends do not justify the means, bro.
Yes, they do. That's what.
Well,
this is basically what
like 19 million in Houston alone. So
I mean, think about all those people who would be Mexican if it was not for James K. Polk.
I'd be wearing a sombrero right now, not an Astros hat. Like, what are we talking about?
Yeah.
All right.
So what is he? F tier for you?
No. I'm genuinely okay with a lot of his other things. I'll put him in B. I think he had a pretty good presidency.
That's better than I was expecting. I was expecting E. Like, what the hell?
There's no E.
That's my one issue with him in the free trader thing. But otherwise, he was pretty excellent at just being.
What is it? It's A B C D E or A B C D F.
S A B C D F.
Man, I cannot recognize who these presidents are. I'm sorry, but I'm making this list. They're all in black and white.
All right,
well, the ones in color are the only ones that. Zachary Taylor. I always liked him growing up because he had a picture of him with the sword. He opposed slavery in the Mexican territories. He got his California. So I mean, it's kind of a him problem. Don't eat too many cherries, guys. Beast for that. Eating cherries.
At least he didn't die in 31 days.
Yeah, I mean, there's that, and he did get his California. And
I love cherries.
Yeah, he was a warmonger, which is No, that's
bro. That's not cool to be a warmonger. Whatever.
1800.
Yeah, he was strongly opposed to the sanction and supported admitting California to the Union as a free state. And then he died by eating too much cherries. So I don't know. After that, it was just history.
Yeah. Give me a second. You didn't do.
I think he's like a B.
I'll give him a. He made a really weak deal with Britain about neither of them taking over a canal in Panama, or it wasn't necessarily in Panama yet, but in Central America. He handled secession threats really bad by saying that, if you secede, then I'm going to go down there and hang people as traitors, which didn't make the South very happy. He sped up California's statehood, so I will agree, Tech Boy, that was a good thing. I'll give him a C. My first C on here, I think. Average.
Yeah, it was very hard on the president. My goodness.
Yeah, I'm very hard on the president.
Millard Fillmore sounds like a duck, but he got a lot of stuff done. He got the trains built. He sent Commodore Matthew Perry. He's one of my favorite Commodores in history. I like learning about him. To Japan and opened him up with the threat of a naval vessel that had guns on it. So that was pretty cool. He was anti-European influence on Hawaii, and he sent a letter to Napoleon, who sought to annex Hawaii, and said that the United States would not stand for any such action. He wanted a full term. He thought about running, of course, but he waffled because he thought his friend was 70-year-old friend was too old to run for president, so he went for that. Which 7 years old is pretty young now. So pretty good foreign policy. Not much here on domestic. I'll give him a B. There we go.
We're on Fillmore.
Yeah, sorry, opening up Japan with a gunboat.
We're on Fillmore.
Yeah.
Sorry, I was texting Zeke to join. Yeah, he opened up a vital international trade marks with Japan, sending Commodore Perry's expedition. Yeah, I don't know. After that, it was history.
Opening up Japan was major. I think that was a total win. Otherwise, he's pretty terrible. I don't think you'd like the Fugitive Slave Act, Tech Boy. I mean, you shouldn't. He was literally forcing people to return runaway slaves to the South.
Yeah,
If
like
they
I
went,
said, not good on domestic policy, good on foreign policy.
he was trying to compromise with the South, which I think is a bad idea. I actually think, hey, you should have let him secede because there's no point in keeping them in the Union if they hate everything that we stand for, from tariffs to slavery. Opening of it and economic policies. He was a Henry Clay-esque American system, big government, favoring big business kind of president. Not my favorite. I'll give him a D.
Wow, right down there with George Washington. What an honor.
Yep. It's. I'm sorry, Tech Boy. It's true. You can't handle the truth.
That's not true.
Just say you don't like the founding fathers. Like, come on. Like,
I mean, he doesn't have to. He put all four of them down in D class.
Exactly. Just say you're against all of the
I like the
Washington
founding
down
fathers as people. They were new to the country, and they kind of screwed up as presidents.
Yeah, I know the people who built the country kind of screwed up making it.
They made it well, and then they screwed up executing it. I like them as people. I think they're very intelligent.
I think I like all the presidents as people.
Really? Bill Clinton?
Yeah. Bill Clinton has aura. Sorry.
What are you talking about?
Like as a person, not as a president.
He was
How?
We'll get to him later. We'll get to him later.
diddling kids. Bro was diddling kids on the
Conspiracy
Epstein
theory.
Island. Like,
We'll get to him in
Okay,
like
look, even
3
if that
hours,
he still
okay?
has aura technically. Like that's bad, but
that's
like,
aura.
No, it's not aura. It's not aura to do that with kids. I'm saying like if you take that away from him, then he has aura like as a person.
All right, let's move on. Franklin
Marrying
Pierce.
Hillary?
I mean, he made America. I'm just gonna give him a C class. Like, yeah.
You gotta give me more than that.
He made America American. He wanted to like kind of give us our own culture rather than us just basically copy and paste of France and England and the rest of Europe. So I think that's good that we have our own distinct culture from Europe. But it's still obviously some Western civilization and Christianity, but we have our own civilization because I think that's pretty cool.
For who are we? We're talking about Pierce?
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't. That sounded vague. Sorry, my bad. Owen.
For some reason, I thought you were still on Bill Clinton. So.
Oh
yeah,
no.
I was confused. Sorry.
We'll get to him.
He
later.
saved Western civilization.
I know that sounds like what?
Yeah. Where is he?
Yeah, Pierce finalized the Gadsden purchase with secured land needed for the Southern Transcontinental Railroad. So with that, the rest is history. I mean, let's be real. And then
all of this is history.
Yeah, the Intercontinental Railroad. That's a big deal, though.
Yeah,
that was a big thing that he did. I think was good. But yeah, I'll give him a C.
He was a war hawk, which I don't like because
I might move him higher then.
Yeah, I know. What we did not need to be going into Cuba. He was really interested in that. Sending troops.
Cuba, 51st state, would have saved us a lot of problems later down the line.
No, absolutely not.
If Cuba was a state, then the USSR couldn't put missiles there.
So we could say that about anything.
Wait,
I
so
mean,
we're gonna
yeah,
have
I think we should only. Never mind.
we should get Canada,
I don't want those
Greenland,
people in our
and
country.
Cuba. I want Canada,
We don't.
Greenland,
We can
and
just
Cuba.
like. They don't need to be a
You want
territory.
Canada voting in our elections. They
I
would
want
I'm saying they
Cuba,
don't need. They could be a
Greenland,
territory.
Venezuela,
They could be like Puerto Rico.
Canada.
I don't want Venezuela.
Yeah,
We don't
they-
need more Hispanics voting in elections. I mean, we're trying to keep them
They
out.
don't
We don't want
agree.
them to become a
like Puerto
state.
Rico. No,
Well, okay,
keep all of
fine.
them like
Yeah,
Puerto
but-
Rico.
Yeah, but they have to pay like super high taxes.
Yeah.
We're my CCE people. You guys are like you're like Tech Boy Part 2, Owen.
I know it's kind of base actually. Wow. True
Yeah,
thing.
go live with Tech Boy, I guess.
Nah, I mean he probably lives close to me.
I'm
Yeah,
in,
Honestly.
he probably does.
I'm in Arizona.
I thought you lived in Houston.
I'm from Houston, but
He's
that's
from
Arizona.
Houston. He lives in Arizona. Let me get back.
Buchanan.
No,
Owen,
no,
I know you're
I'm
gonna
not
glaze
done with
into, like-
Pierce yet. I'm not done with Pierce.
Oh, sorry. Still more.
Kansas-Nebraska Act was one of the worst ideas ever. For the audience, that was basically letting Kansas and Nebraska to decide if they're going to be free states or slave states. Instead, a bunch of people from the North and South went in there and started killing each other. It was basically the Civil War before the Civil War. Stop compromising with the South. Just let them go. I don't understand that idea. Economic policy. He's a free trader, which I don't like, but he kept the independent treasury, maintained hard money. I like that. But the imperialist thing puts a bad taste in my mouth and kind of failed in this pre-antebellum era. I'll give him a D.
I mean, if Owen was president, we'd have like 3 states, and they wouldn't be that strong. We'd lose all those states. You know, if they disagree with one little regulation, they just run off and
No.
wouldn't even go get.
I was for the Louisiana Purchase. Do you remember?
Well, yeah, but I'm saying those states, like in the South, if they want to have slavery, you'd be like, well, screw you, and then they just end up being some of the country's state.
Dude, it is not worth 620,000 people to die in a civil war to keep the South.
So I guess you're gonna be putting the next president on this list in A2, Buchanan, who was a bum. Okay, he did nothing. He didn't even want to preserve the Union. D-tier president. Need I say more? Honestly, I know you're gonna talk about what a great president he was for letting like half the states escape, but I'm gonna put him in D tier where he belongs.
You
right down
own
there, with President Washington.
Ron Cannon.
Buchanan,
Buchanan.
Rokana.
also D tier.
Supported the successful laying of the first transatlantic telegraph cable, revolutionized global communications. So you global communications. That's good. What did you put him at, Tech Boy?
I said high tech. Yeah, I put him at D, but it's still pretty cool.
Yeah, he was high tech, like Tech Boy.
That's right. W. Buchanan.
Honestly, just put him at D. Throw him,
down there with the founding fathers.
He's gonna have him at S tier. Let's be real.
Okay,
Yeah,
we get it, Tech Boy. Okay, we get it. We all understand. No, I agree. This is the first time that all 3 of us are in agreement. James Buchanan was a bum. Another free trader, which I hate. Dred Scott conclusion means that you're not human, Tech Boy. I disagree with that. So you should be thanking me.
It's not his fault that Dred Scott happened, though.
I know, but he approved of it.
Oh, yeah, of course. Like you said, you always have to just defy the Supreme Court whenever they do something you don't like. I forgot that you believe that you can just just do that. Yeah.
Lecompton Constitution was terrible. He let the Kansas fake fraudulent Constitution. He accepted it as a slave state. Bad idea. Overall, weak, pathetic. He might have been gay, actually, I've heard. Did you know that?
Well, I mean, people call me gay, so I'm not gonna.
Well, you're
asexual.
Yeah.
You want to see a photo? You want to see a photo?
Of
Yeah.
what?
All right, I got you. Hold up. Let me hold up.
Okay,
I don't think I want to. I'm scared.
Tech Boy. Someone said Tech Boy was paid $9 million by APAC.
I just made a video about how I took out APAC. So.
Well, it was me that commented you were paid $9 million by APAC.
I wish. I'll kiss every wall and foot I can for $9 million.
Hey, though, I will give Buchanan. Yeah, that's definitely Tech Boy.
I do like how you edited out 3 women to make that photo.
Yep,
very
got to.
Right.
And then there's this one too.
Yep.
With the first name and everything, Maizel Mosh.
Maizel Moshe. Isn't it Maizel Moshe?
Or Moshe, something like that. Whatever.
That's a tough name, dude.
9 million from APAC. Just saying.
9 million.
Wow, look at the studio, guys. $9 million gets me no lighting, no camera.
He has an Israeli flag behind that flag.
There's no Israel flag. Yeah, there's no flag.
Show it.
Only the US flag.
Show it.
I don't even own a Israeli flag.
Yeah.
Oh, you don't?
That's
then
what
why is it showing up on my screen? Hold
Israeli flags say. Buchanan. Right. Sorry, let me get back to this. Bum, D tier. He made the right decision with secession because what are you going to do? Like lose hundreds of thousands of people to get states that don't want you and hate you, and like everybody there hates you. What's the point?
All right. I know that you hate
that was the
Abraham
most brutal, bloody war in history, Tech Boy.
And yet it was worth it. Sometimes you have to do
worth it.
Yes,
Tech Boy, the Civil War was very worth it.
I know you hate Abraham Lincoln. You're going to put him down there, probably an F class or whatever. But Abraham Lincoln, S-tier president, he is the father of the great Republican Party. He ended slavery. He won the Civil War. He chose a competent cabinet, even of people who he disagreed with. So he was focused on what was best for the United States of America. And I heard this argument before that he really helped show that the Declaration of Independence, he cited that as like some sort of a founding document on sort of the same level as the Constitution. He was a great speechwriter. The Gettysburg Address, great address, the Emancipation Proclamation, great. Unfortunate that he went to a theater and got assassinated. But S-tier president, look, Abraham Lincoln could be described as a second founding father to this nation. And unlike some people, I like the founding fathers. So.
Dude, Owen, he's not going to get rid of this. Like, you're going to be on this forever.
Oh, no, this is going to last as long as Blonde Gate. This is going to last as long as Bikini Gate. This is going to last as long as all my gates, okay?
It's going to last as long as the...
You know that.
What?
I've won everything. About?
No, I don't think anyone online is going to take kindly to you putting the father of our nation in D tier.
Yeah, he issued the... Yeah, I don't know, dude. Tech Boy, your Israeli flag in the background is also going to be in there forever.
That's a U.S. flag, but I haven't even mentioned Israel.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
Well, it was just showing up. Your Israeli flag was showing up on my screen for some reason.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, you don't?
No, I don't own an Israel flag. Also, Israel didn't even exist in 1865, so I don't know what you're even talking about.
According to you, it did. They were still the chosen people, right?
That's Google.
That's
Google. I can't even see what that is.
I can see it.
On to you.
Yeah. Lincoln issued the Emancipation Proclamation. I don't know how to say it, and preserved the United States through the Civil War.
Which is a good thing.
What?
I was saying that's a good thing.
Yeah.
Let the man finish his sentence.
No, it's fine. And then and then he got assassinated like in cold blood in the back of the head at a theater. Iowa.
Yeah.
He would have let Iowa walk. He would have been like, hey, we don't need Iowa. Bye.
Yeah, Iowa's a stupid state anyways. It's fine.
But what would let the entire South? But what would let Texas walk? He's like, we don't need a very powerful state.
We don't need Texas with AK-47s and bazookas, but we need.
Like, you know what? If he wants Texas and Mississippi, they can have Texas and Mississippi. Who cares? Like,
but we need Iowa that only has corn and farms.
I'm for having Texas. I was for the annexation of Texas. You know that.
Yeah, but then Texas fought in the Civil War. You'd been like, let them walk.
We don't need Texas. We need Iowa.
I was against going into a disputed region.
No, but for the Civil War, you said instead of having the Civil War, we should just let the states walk.
We're on Lincoln.
Yeah, that's what we're talking about.
Yeah, no, someone asked.
Who asked?
Ironclad Truth by her.
I just
Well,
realized.
yeah, we're on Lincoln. Here, I'll send it in.
All right.
F
Start,
tier.
talking about how bad Lincoln is.
You said F tier?
Yeah, these my
He's
first
the
F
father
tiers.
of our
Okay,
party.
so this is interesting. There are 5 F tier presidents and 5 S tier. This is our first. An F tier president to qualify for my list had to do irreparable damage to the United States. Abraham Lincoln is the first big government, modern, liberal president in the vein of Barack Obama, in the vein of Joe Biden. Abraham Lincoln is the very first one. He brought back the National Bank, was the first to install an income tax on Americans, suspended habeas corpus, expanded the government, blew up the debt like it had never been seen before. We lost 620,000, more like 700,000 people in a bloody and awful conflict that we shouldn't have been in, because there's no reason in going to war with states that hate you just to preserve the Union. Wasn't about getting rid of slavery at first. But if you think we should have been at war to get rid of slavery, like it was later on in the war, then by that logic, we should go to war on California for having abortion. Because obviously abortion is worse than slavery, morally, because you're actually killing a human being. So I don't see any benefits to Abraham Lincoln.
Well, you say that he was a big government president who, in the veins of Obama and Biden.
He is. He was the first big government president.
There would be no government without Abraham Lincoln. There would be no United States of America without Abraham Lincoln. If Abraham Lincoln just let those states walk, we would have dissolved as a nation in like 1900 and probably been taken over by England. I mean,
we wouldn't have been taken over by England.
No, the English were looking into supporting these southern states. And if there was no war, they might have just came back in, recolonized the South, because slavery was economically bad for the South, actually. The North was more industrialized. So other powers would come in, and they'd have massive miles of a whole bunch of states, from Texas to the Carolinas, and they could wage war on us with those states, and we'd most likely lose. So I think that
you always give me ridiculous hypotheticals. If Britain,
it's not ridiculous. That's historical.
Hold on. If Britain invaded the Confederacy, then the North would help the Confederacy fight off the British.
No. I'm saying the British were thinking about helping the Confederacy with monetary policies as well, and then maybe backing the militarily as well. But if we just let the states walk, then Britain wouldn't have thought about it. They would have actually done that, and they would have come back and gotten America again, or France would have come back and gotten America again. Or, there's actual other countries out there who were trying to be dominant in our hemisphere. And if we want to be dominant in the South Americas, if we want to be dominant in Hawaii, we have to at least be dominant in our own backyard and not let our own states just pick up and leave just because they feel like it. And sometimes, no, we preserve the Union.
You think that, let me get this right, I'm sorry, Britain would have helped the Confederacy beat the North?
Look it up. That is a historical fact that they were thinking about doing that.
Why would they try to
what are these stupid hypotheticals?
It's not a stupid hypothetical. They actually
These are stupid hypotheticals.
They wanted the cotton.
These are insane.
They look it up.
These are insane. If there wasn't any war, the South would have gone in peace. And then would have just had chilled out down there.
And either would have dissolved or been taken over by another power.
Yeah, if it was taken over by another power, the U.S. would help the Confederacy, because the U.S. would be defending its interests.
But the Confederacy would want to be taken over by the said power.
No, it wouldn't. It would not want to be taken over by Britain. They were the most fiercely anti-British region of the country. From the beginning of the founding.
Do you think the Confederacy would rather be taken over by some European power, or would you think they'd rather be taken over by the United States?
Well, I'm not saying they want to. I'm saying that the United States lets them secede. Then they would function as their own country. Britain, they hated Britain. They were the ones driving the War of 1812. They were pro-French, pro-Napoleon. I have no idea why. They were very, 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 rah independence, my states, no foreign interference. They would not want Britain to take over.
That wouldn't have been ridiculous. Good for the United States of America, though. to even risk that from happening, to have foreign powers on our borders, or to either have European powers taking them over, or having multiple foreign powers from Texas to the Carolinas being on the borders. That's not. We only have one country that's on our border right now. It's Mexico. If that would have happened, we'd have had like 10 countries on our borders. It's not good for America. And if they leave, then some other state might fill in. Let's say Iowa becomes a state, and they feel, I'm kind of bored here. I don't want to be in here. I don't want to pay my taxes. I actually want to be my own country. And they just pick up and leave. We wouldn't have a country anymore, or we'd be much, much weaker than we are now. And I think that America has done so much good for the world by being a powerful nation, by being a superpower. And it's been done good for the people who live in this country as well. And we'd be much less effective at just being 50 or ish random states.
The South was dragging us down by the time of 1860.
And now they're lifting us up. I mean, the South is one of the best parts of America.
No, I agree. Now I'm not disputing that, but looking then, if I was in Abraham Lincoln's chair, I would look and say, look at this part of the United States. They're not modernizing. They hate the manufacturing. They're pro-slavery, which I think is pretty evil. They're not helping the U.S. move along. We're just getting in arguments about everything. They don't feel allegiance to the United States. They're already talking about seceding since 1830s with the nullification issue. I would say instead of wasting 750,000 young people.
This number keeps getting bigger and bigger every time you talk about it.
Look it up. Look it up.
You said it was 600,000 at first, and now you said 700,000. Now it's 750,000. I mean, at this point, it's going to be a million
right
people.
Now. I don't think. Let me see. Hold on. Total fatalities ranging from 620,000 to 750,000. So I'm in the ballpark. Look.
So somewhere around it, sure.
Yeah, that I would be like, and then once we won the war, after 4 horrible, bloody years, they didn't like us, and then we treated them like basically not even part of the U.S. They were just like slaves to us. Like we didn't even let them have their state back. We had troops in there. They hated us. They hated us for 100 years afterwards. There was resentment. If you look at the electoral maps, the whole North is Republican. The whole South is Democrat. There's 2 different countries. In my opinion, it just wasn't worth it. But you guys can think what you want to think. 750,000 deaths. You like them, Tech Boy, but I really don't.
I don't like that people died. I just think it's good. The greater good prevailed.
Okay, good for you.
It's good on. It's good for me. I mean, I would be a Confederate or Mexican or British or whatever, but because of Abraham Lincoln, I'm American. So I think that's amazing. Anyway, on to Andrew Jackson. He was pragmatic towards the South. Oh, sorry, Johnson. He was pragmatic towards the South. Then he vetoed the Civil Rights Act. I'm just gonna give him a C. He didn't really have the heart or spirit of Abraham Lincoln. He was kind of a bum. So yeah, C class.
Purchase Alaska. I mean, what does Alaska do for us though?
No. Alaska's amazing. We have a buffer to the Russians.
I agree. We're Tech Boy W.
Yeah, we do have that. We did have that conference at Alaska this year or whatever. It was last year, whatever.
Yeah.
We got the military base in Alaska. Alaska's pretty good. That happened in 1867.
I forgot about that, so I might put him up to B. I like expanding the United States, so yeah.
Yeah. And then adding a vast natural resources to the country. Or natural resources to the country. Yeah, honestly, with also this adding on to what Tech Boy said, I think he's probably a B for me.
Yeah.
I agree.
I do like how he expanded it.
Yeah. Andrew Johnson, way better president than Abraham Lincoln. He inherited.
Are you putting him a D? Like, is that what you're gonna do?
No, he's a B. He's a B. He inherited disaster and had to figure it out. The crazies in Congress didn't let him get anything done. They wanted to just torture the southern states. I hate slavery. And I hate racism. I think that the people down there were really bad for the most part to the African Americans, but that's why I wanted them not to be part of our country. But to treat them like to win a war with them, to bring them into the Union, and then treat them like slaves themselves is counterintuitive and just harbored resentment. And Andrew Johnson was trying to say, "Hey, war's over. We're back at net zero. Let's just let the states be the states." And the Congress was like, "No, we want to just enforce. We want to send troops down there and make it a military dictatorship." And so Andrew Johnson, I feel bad for him. Couldn't get his agenda done because the South couldn't even have anybody in Congress. So we were just ruling them like a dictatorship. Purchase of Alaska was great. B tier. I feel bad for him, but he was a good president.
Ulysses S. Grant, he might be the first religious right president, and I think that's great. He prosecuted the polygamists, the pornographers, and the abortionists. I mean, honestly, right there. He created Yellowstone. He supported women's rights, which I support. He supported the Catholics. He did, unfortunately, go back on he put us back on the gold standard, so that's good. And he also supported the Jews, which I think that's good.
What do you mean? He was the one that kicked the Jews out of the...
Yeah, he kicked them out, and then he felt sorry about that. So then he supported them in his presidency. I'm not talking about as a general. So A tier, honestly. He's one of our great presidents.
Yeah, for me, he crushed the iteration of the Ku Klux Klan.
W.
And established the Department of Justice.
Yeah, he got his great stateswoman like Pam Bondi, so I might put him up there in S too.
Yeah, I'm putting him at B.
He continued. He was very rough on the South, created a lot of resentment with them, as a lot of the Republicans did. I agree with his economic policies. Gold standard, I love. Tariffs, I love. This is hard. He had a good foreign policy as well.
I mean, he was pro-life, so I think that should get him some points.
Oh man, this is a rough one for me. I'm probably going to give him a B or C. I'm going to give him a C. I'll give him a C. He was average.
Average, okay. Wow.
You put.
I mean, if you got Ulysses S. Grant today, I mean, he'd be the.
Can I just say how you put Grant and Johnson over Washington and our founding fathers?
Yeah.
I mean, sure. What is this list at this point? Sure.
Exactly.
We're just doing anything at this point, bro.
Bro, you guys don't have to follow the mainstream consensus. You can.
It's not. I don't like Washington because it's mainstream. I like him because he helped found this country.
You can think for yourself, and
I am thinking for myself.
That how much devastation the Hamiltonian economic system had, and its precedent for how it affected the United States in the future.
All right, but Techboy Media is mainstream media at this point. Let's be real.
How am I mainstream? I have 600 followers on Instagram.
Techboy, you realize that the National Bank was the founding of the Federal Reserve, basically. The worst liberal economic policies that we hate trace back to the Washington administration and the ideas of big government. I can't forgive
all the way back to our founding father, George Washington.
You can laugh, dude. It's true. Whatever.
Dude, get your hyena out of the room. Come on.
Get your hyena out of the room, bro.
All right, let's get to the next guy.
All right.
Garfield. On my notes, this is just a bum who died. So these presidents, they need to stop dying. It's
bro, it's just a bum that died.
Cut it out at this point. Stop dying. You're becoming president of the most powerful nation on earth, the best nation on earth, and you just die. It's kind of disrespectful to the office, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
Detail.
Yeah, he attacked the corruption within the U.S. Postal Service. By exposing the star route fraud rings. But
he's
he also died. So probably put him at C.
Wait, why did we go to Garfield? I thought we were on Hayes.
Oh yeah.
Oh, my list must have skipped. I don't know why I did that.
Oh, it's all right.
Mine
Yeah.
too.
We'll just do Hayes real quick, I guess. And yeah, what do you think, Hayes, Tech Boy?
Well, let me see here. You can go first because I'm trying to. Find it
Okay,
on my
yeah, I'll go
list.
first. Hayes, right when he went in, he got the hell out of the South, which I think is good because there's no need to continue having the Civil War like more than a decade after the Civil War is over. It was time to let them be states again. He tried to end the spoils system, which I think is dumb. I think a president should be able to appoint who he wants to execute his agenda instead of deep state employees. Hard money, I agree with. Tariff policies, I agree with. He was kind of brutal with the federal government, though, crushing a railroad strike instead of letting the market handle it. I don't like these big government, like really aggressive type presidents unless it's absolutely necessary. I
Or
like
doesn't like using power at all.
Oh, I do. I do. Like with the tariff. I agree with using power, but
I mean,
really
actual power, like with the gun,
Yeah, like I agreed with Andrew Jackson going down.
Oh yeah, of course,
and
yeah.
enforcing the tariff. I just really think that the federal government is better off small and restrained and out of our lives. So for that, I'll give Mr. Hayes a C.
I'm gonna give him a B. He was a good Republican, decent on
So
civil
we
rights.
skipped the Tech Boy now? What is this?
What? I'm not president yet.
What's happening?
What are you talking about?
I thought we were going this way now. Like the
No. My notes skipped, so that's why.
Oh.
Yeah, I think he was decent on civil rights. He wanted to go into South America, which is pretty cool. He got out of the South, which is fine. And he won a pretty disputed election, so I'll just give him a B tier. Pretty decent president for his time.
Hey, Tech Boy, Jay says that my list is peak, so
cool.
Wait,
I told you.
Oh, and you gave him a C?
The George Washington Haters Club has 2 people in it.
You gave him a C, Owen?
Yeah, I gave him a C.
Yeah, I mean, he began the fight against political corruption by impeaching the first civil service reform, or impleting the first civil service reforms. Yeah, he didn't really do shit though, so I'll give him a C.
I think that ending the spoil system is actually good. We want to have competent people in government, not just random bums you pick up off the street and because they were loyal to you or whatever to do stuff. I don't know. I like to have competency in government.
I like the spoil system.
Of course
I mean, to Owen, Washington's a bum, so is Lincoln.
Well, no, not as a person, as a president.
No, I mean, if it was up to Owen, he'd put George Washington far away from the government. He'd give him a farm or something. So,
yeah, he deported New Mexico. What are you talking about? Like
Andrew Jackson is the kind of man that I want in office. That's a real man,
Well, he is President Trump's favorite president. So
exactly, and Trump's going to be a little bit higher on here than a lot of these guys. So.
Wow, Trump over Washington.
What are you gonna put him at B? Is that where you're gonna put Trump?
Well, we have to save that.
We'll get to him. We gotta save him. Yeah.
In 6 hours. So
nah,
I'm just kidding.
Bro.
We're like halfway through.
Yeah. All right.
Like halfway.
Where'd you guys put Garfield?
I put him at D because he died.
I put him at C.
Died like a dog.
Died like a dog.
Quite frankly,
I didn't take notes for Garfield. Let me see.
Yeah.
Well, just know he died, so that's why you can put it at D. I'm joking.
Yeah, I don't agree with breaking the spoil system.
I don't agree with him dying. So.
That's the only thing he did.
Oh, so is he better or worse than George Washington?
He began efforts to build closer diplomatic and economic ties, investing in Latin American nations. I'm going to give him a D.
Cool.
I think I just gave him the benefit of doubt and put him at C. It's not his fault he died.
It kind of is. Move. Didn't he get assassinated? Move. Like, don't be there.
Jump out of the way.
Duck. Like, I don't know. After he had a postmaster named Tom Brady, which is pretty cool. Before the quarterback, he was in the
I
post
thought you
office.
were talking about the quarterback. That's
No,
why.
he exposed a scandal with Postmaster General Thomas J. Brady and not Abe Smith, but Stephen Wallace Dorsey. So he got rid of him and the spoil system. He expanded the Navy, which is good. He abolished tariffs. He banned immigration from people, like the Chinese Exclusion Act. I don't know. Like, in my opinion, the country can decide what they want. If we want to decide that we only want to have one-armed people come into this country, fine. So, in A-Push, they always like, oh, the Chinese Exclusion Act is so bad. We kept out the Chinese. Boo-hoo. Like, who cares? Like, they don't have a right to be here. So I don't really care about that. B-tier president.
We're on
Owen?
Arthur. We're on Arthur.
Yeah.
Chester often. He's a pretty, decent.
He signed the Pendleton Act or Civil Service Reform Act, ensuring government jobs will be awarded to the best on merit. But yeah, except for that, what Tech Boy said. Sorry, I couldn't really hear him. I'm joking. I knew what you said. But yeah, I probably put him at. I was got to go in the mind of Owen over here. He's probably gonna put him at D. I'll put him at C.
Don't like that he gutted the spoils system because you guys might laugh at that, but
Well, once a corrupt government run
no,
by
it's not. Andrew Jackson created the spoils system. That's the spoils
Andrew
system.
Jackson's not God. He made mistakes.
Hold on, spoils system is a misnomer. It's a weaponized term to say the president can appoint who he wants to execute his agenda instead of having to appoint, longtime government employees. Arthur built the Navy. Thank you very much. Chinese Exclusion Act, I think, was fair. They were undercutting American wages, and there was a lot of depravity going on from what I've heard. He was lowering tariffs, which I don't like. Man, this is hard. I'll probably give him a C plus.
No, we have C pluses. I didn't know that.
No,
That's not real.
He can do whatever.
I'm just thinking out loud.
Let's do Grover Cleveland, obviously combining both of his terms. We're not going to come back to this bum twice. Grover Cleveland, he came back. He gets points for that. Unfortunately, he was a Democrat that came back. He modernized the Navy, which is cool. He vetoed the Texas Seed Bill because he believed in limited government, which I think was cool. Yep. But unfortunately, he opposed interventionism and expansionism, so C-tier president.
Yeah, hold on, I forgot. I need to get my notes. Grover Cleveland created the Interstate Commerce Commission to protect consumers from unfair railroads, monopolies. Yeah, and then just did what Tech Boy said, which, yeah. Oh no, I feel like I agree with Tech Boy in a few of these.
Yeah.
So
you're kind of in the image of Tech Boy in the shadow. No, I'm just kidding. But
yeah,
Grover Cleveland, top 5 presidents ever. I'm gonna give him an S. What?
Wait, honestly,
what is wrong with you guys?
Honestly,
I don't think he's a bad president, but top 5.
Honestly, yeah, I'll give him S. I'll give him S too.
You will?
Yeah.
Okay.
Grover Cleveland, top 5 president.
Hey, this is what I value in presidents: is being honorable. He was a good man. He also, wasn't getting involved in needless foreign affairs. I know you like that. I don't
like needless affairs.
America first.
I am America first. My only interest is what benefits the people of the United States of America and their interests.
Yeah, but
I don't think that we should go bomb,
Iran.
No, some random African country because we feel like it. No, that's not what I'm saying.
Senegal,
when I support the United States interventionism and expansionism, which of course at this time means spreading from sea to signing sea, it's because I genuinely believe it's in the interest of America, not because I just feel like I want to bomb something. Okay, like blowing up stuff is cool, but I don't want to just do that as president just because you think it's cool.
He very bravely fought for the gold standard, low tax guy, restrained government, kind of the. I like some things about libertarian Republicans. I'm not, because I'm pro-tariff and anti-immigration, but I lean towards the libertarian side of Republicans. He was a Democrat, but again, Democrats were not Democrats today. They were.
Well, they kind of were.
No, they weren't.
Democrats
They were
today are pro-abortion, Democrat, and pro having the illegal immigrants pick our cotton. Back then, they were pro-slavery and having the black people pick our cotton.
No, that was the Southern Democrats. Grover Cleveland represented.
Well, I'm just saying. Well, I mean,
Grover Cleveland would be a Rand Paul Republican.
This is the
today. The party switch did not happen until 1912.
There's no such thing as a party switch.
Yes, there is.
We are still the party of the horrible dictator Abraham Lincoln.
No, we are not. Abraham Lincoln.
We are the party of
Abraham Lincoln is a big government liberal Democrat.
No, he is less big government than Donald Trump.
Not true.
Yes. Donald Trump actually claims. Well, we'll get to him later. But yeah, I like his domestic policy. I don't like his foreign policy. That's why I'm give him a C. That doesn't make him a bad president. Just like straight, he's a mid president, right? There's a reason he lost.
Yeah, Benjamin Harrison.
Benjamin Harrison. He had the longest inauguration address until, of course, my second inauguration address. I'm just gonna be up there yapping. I'm gonna break George Washington's record of the shortest inauguration address. The first time I get elected, and the second time I'm gonna make it the longest. He had a merit system, yet reciprocal tariffs. He brought electricity into the White House, aggressive foreign policy, and a strong navy, and supported black civil rights. A-tier president, honestly. His name is Benjamin too. Like, cool.
He supported BLM. I'm joking.
Benjamin Harrison. Benjamin Harrison.
Yeah, he signed the Sherman Antitrust Act into law. Nation's first major legislation prohibited business and monopolized. So, yeah. Oh, no. I just don't think Tech will ever be president. The only vote will be his mom, so.
My mom would not vote for me.
See, exactly. So you'd have nobody voting for you.
Zero.
No, I vote for myself.
Yeah, so. I give
Benjamin Harrison. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
He didn't do much. Like, these presidents aren't doing shit compared to now. Like, Trump bombed Iran. Like, I don't see anybody bombing people on this.
Yeah, because it was based back then.
We didn't have planes, so.
Well, yeah, no shit, Tech Boy.
But I don't.
Give me a
D. Benjamin Harrison will get a C. He admitted 6 new states. I like that. Another tariff man, which I love, McKinley tariff. He was going after trusts, which is scary to me. I don't like the government getting involved in private business, and was spending money recklessly. A lot of debt during his time on things like pensions for the elderly, which I'm not against elderly getting pensions. I just don't think it's the federal government's job to do so. So for that reason, another big government Republican that I agree with on lots of things, but lots of other things I disagree with. So C tier.
Right. McKinney, he won the Spanish-American War. I like that. He got us Hawaii. I also like that. He saved Christian missionaries in China via military force. I also like that. He unfortunately lost black support, not because he did anything wrong, just because the black people don't know who to vote for. Then he won his election and died. So, he probably shouldn't have gotten shot. Like, move. But A-tier.
Okay. What is with every president, like, in this time of day, getting assassinated? Like, I swear, it's every 3 presidents we get one that's assassinated.
They didn't have good security.
He got assassinated after
what happened to me. I was just going to
go out. He got assassinated after his re-election.
Owen, I would vote for you for president.
Let's just walk into the biggest crowd
if Owen
possible
were president,
without
we'd
any
lose
security
half our states.
protocol.
Up and walk and be like, bye.
Oh, and if I voted for president, would you make Texas back to Mexico? Like, would you let Mexico have Texas? I mean,
Would I like? Wait, what? Say that
Would
again.
you let Mexico have Texas if I voted for you for president?
No.
That's something that sounds like something you would do.
What if Texas just voted and decided to up and leave? Then you'd be like,
Yeah,
we don't need
honestly,
you.
I'd vote for you though before Tech Boy. But no, McKinley led the nation to a swift victory in the Spanish-American War.
Which was a good war, by the way.
Yeah,
Remember the name.
decent.
How? What?
Oh my gosh.
You got?
We won. That's how it's a good war. We won that war. That's how it's a good war. We beat Spain in like 2 months.
And then establishing the U.S.
Yes, with the United States of America.
Yeah, and then establishing U.S. global power. That was
exactly. Is that supposed to be a bad thing now?
Why the hell were we in the Philippines? This is just stupid.
It's in Spanish, so it's probably Spain. We were probably.
It's needless warmongering.
And we won in 2 months. They had it going.
So,
you know what I mean?
yeah,
why would
give
we
them C.
They basically asked to get beaten. Okay, they wanted it.
This is now interesting. This is factoid for y'all. Trump's first term, his favorite president was Andrew Jackson. That's why he did so much better. Second term, he switched to McKinley. That's why he's been invading shit. Is because he likes McKinley. Yeah, I do really appreciate McKinley's love for the protective tariff, and I love his gold standard. And so, I hate the interventionism thing, but weighing those things together, I'll give him a C.
More than tariffs? Like, do you have people in your life that you like above tariffs?
No, tariff is a word more beautiful than love.
If tariffs were your girlfriend, would you marry her?
Yeah. That would be a hot relationship, Tech Boy.
Well, I mean, it'd be anti-American for me to have a girlfriend, though. So.
Oh my god, where did Owen go?
I don't know. Irrelevant. Anyway, Teddy Roosevelt, one of the most overrated presidents of all time.
Agree, 100%.
JFK of Republicans. Okay, everyone be glazing Teddy Roosevelt. Teddy Roosevelt is the reason we had Woodrow Wilson become president because he ran for a third term and split the vote.
Mm-hmm.
He regulated all the businesses and busted the trust, which is supposed to be a good thing. Apparently, we're supposed to like that. Mm-hmm. No. There's some decent stuff in there, like, the Pure Food and Drug Act. And he was against European incursions in the Western Hemisphere. He supported the Monroe Doctrine. He wanted to control the smaller nations. He did not want European influence. He was like, either we have American influence or European influence. So I like this foreign policy, but this domestic policy of regulating the businesses and, all of this nonsense and causing the worst president ever, Woodrow Wilson, I'm going to put him at B-ish. We got national parks because of him. Cool. I know some environmentalists. The environment's great, guys. I care very deeply about the environment, and I'm not saying that for pure reasons. So, yeah.
Sorry, I'm back. Who are we on?
Teddy Roosevelt.
Bet.
I'll go first if you're looking it up.
Wait, is that
I already have mine. I have like a list of them. So, he created the United States Forest Service and permanently protected 230 million acres of public land. I mean, that's a lot of land, guys.
I mean, yeah, some of that land could be a little bit more useful. I'm just saying.
Tech Boy, no.
What? I mean, we could put a farm there or something.
What, you think we should pick cotton with it?
Wow, guys, look at this nice tree. You're like,
You want us to pick cotton with it? I mean,
no, I want us to pick some oil. Drill, baby, drill.
Yeah.
Let's keep some beauty though in some nice parks.
Yeah, no, absolutely. That was a lot of land. That's a lot of land. So I mean, he did protect all of that. I gotta give him probably a B. So
President Trump just talked to him last night, so it's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's true. Teddy Roosevelt. What?
Teddy Roosevelt?
Yeah, AI with not.
Oh,
yeah.
Not I thought he died.
I thought he died. No. Let's see. I like the man. He's kind of has aura. He like
speak softly and carry a big stick.
Yeah.
I think too many presidents speak loudly and their stick is too small.
That's so true. Let's see. I love tariffs. He was wanting to put the brakes on immigration because people weren't assimilating. So I like that. Loved guns, respect, but his disastrous economic policy going after private business, lots of regulation, lots of growth in government, lots of encouraging progressive liberal reforms. He is the last Republican that would be a Democrat today before the major switch happens up here during the election in
Teddy
during the
Roosevelt.
election in 1912.
Teddy Roosevelt would be Mitt Romney if he were alive today.
No, he's way too progressive. He'd be like a moderate Democrat.
I don't think Teddy Roosevelt would be running around playing with the pride flags and.
No, he wouldn't. But he'd be a blue dog Democrat. He'd be a Wisconsin,
like what, Joe Manchin or
Pennsylvania
something?
Democrat.
Do you think there's any pro-life Democrats? Like
A ton.
who?
I know some.
Like in office, not like Democrat voters.
Yeah, probably. He's from southern constituencies.
Nah, because all these Southern Democrats are all just in all the black areas, so they're super radical left, like Jasmine Crockett.
No, there's a
Oh
lot
my
of
gosh, I can't
a lot
stand
of
her.
southern and manufacturing belt Democrats called blue dog Democrats that
I
would
don't think they
assume are
exist
pro-life.
anymore. At least they're getting wiped out by the socialists. So
Yeah, but they're still a small group.
I think that if he were president today, he'd be a moderate Republican. I don't think he'd be a Democrat.
he's too Mitt Romney's pro financial state, pro
The
Wall
Democratic
Street.
Party is just too far to the left. I said he's overrated. I didn't say he was like bad. I don't think Teddy Roosevelt was like this radical left.
He's pretty radical left.
He's
if you
not.
look at his progressive reforms.
If he were, I mean, these regulations still exist today, and they're supported on both sides of the political aisle. So,
he wanted to go further. He really wanted.
But he didn't.
Yeah, he did though. At the end of his term,
he said he did all these regulations that basically still exist to this day. So I think he support the status quo, which is why
he was a managerial, near socialist.
Well, I mean, we know how you felt about socialism. So I mean, I don't think he'd be a Democrat.
I'm going to put him down with good old George Washington in the D category.
Yeah, down there where he belongs, guys. All right. Oh, also, I almost forgot this. He wanted spheres of influence. I'm not really a fan of that. He wanted peace with Russia and Japan. Great thing. All right. Taft. He supported Monroe Doctrine. He defended our southern border. And he told this to a man named Archibald Butt, that he said he's going to sit on the lid and will take a great deal to pry me off. And he occupied Nicaragua. So, be your president just for that line alone. And also, imagine having some guy in your admin or in Congress named Archibald Butt. Wow. Tragic.
Yeah, that is pretty tragic. All right, Owen.
Here, I lost my list. How about, can you go, Owen? And then I'll go right after you.
Yeah. Taft, lots of antitrust lawsuits, continued Roosevelt's progressive reforms, supported the 16th Amendment, which allowed for a federal income tax. There was no income tax placed during his presidency, but he allowed for its creation. I
wouldn't be opposed to paying income taxes.
What?
I said I'm not opposed to income taxes, but
income taxes are awful, but he was a big regulation guy, big tariff guy, though. Also, I love the Payne-Aldrich tariff. He was for the amendment 17th, which is the direct election of senators. I think that was a big downfall. The idea was always that representatives are for the people and the Senate is for the states. And it keeps this balance of states' rights and the federal government. I'm looking
Thank God that we can vote for our senators right now. Because
no, I think the state legislators should choose the
senators.
senators.
Imagine we had Jasmine Crockett running around voting for who controlled Texas.
Hey, dude, James Tallarico is going to win that Democratic seat, though.
Well, he did.
Well,
yeah,
he
did.
But sadly, he might win the election because they picked Paxton over Cornyn, and Paxton has all these scandals.
No, Cornyn's worse than Paxton.
Cornyn's more electable, though. I don't care about his scandals. I don't care that he cheated on his wife. It's not my problem. I'm just saying that the people of Texas are gonna pretend to care about
his
that.
Senate. Honestly, I like Paxton more than Cornyn, though.
Yeah, I agree. But guys, let's stay on topic. We're at 1 hour and 56 minutes. Sorry to be bossy. Taft is D.
Yeah.
D.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Woodrow Wilson, I think we should all agree he belongs in F tier.
Yeah,
At
agreed.
least he won World War One. That's decent. That's the only decent thing that he did. He removed civil liberties, even though that was from some guy named Eugene, who was a socialist. So I'm mixed on that. He was very racist. He showed some KKK movie in the White House.
Yep.
Both the nation. Yeah, and he also is pro the League of Nations, which was terrible. The League of Nations and later the UN is a terrible organizations. Glad we didn't join it, but he supported it. F tier president, horrible president.
Yeah.
He was president of the United States.
Owen.
Oh, I thought we were just all putting him in an F and skipping. He created the Federal Reserve System, providing the national with a safer, more flexible financial system. He's still an F tier. I don't get it.
Yeah, F tier, income tax, Federal Reserve, regulatory state grew to the highest it's ever been. He hornswoggled the South. He's the first modern Democrat by promising them that welfare was going to help them out, got them dependent, was super racist, which I don't appreciate. World War One, absolute travesty, should never have gotten involved. Major foreign policy mistake, wanting to spread democracy abroad, then pushed for the League of Nations, and in his private writings expressed a desire for global government by technocratic elites that are not elected by the people. Horrible man, horrible ideas. I don't know if he's the worst, but he probably is. He's my second F tier president in this group.
I think that World War One is inevitable for the United States to get in. We had the Germans attacking our ships, so I mean they had to come in.
The French were attacking our ships in the Quasi War. We didn't go over there.
We didn't have that much of a navy back then. We were a brand new nation.
Why would we?
I don't know. I don't think that. I don't think that attacking our ships intentionally is. I think that's a good cause to join the war.
The Lusitania was carrying ammo.
Wait, are you going live tomorrow, Owen, or no? Or
No.
technically today?
Yeah, this is. Yeah,
Wow.
I'm always Monday through Thursday.
All right, then I'll call you or just talk to you later after this because whatever we were talking about yesterday, how I think we should do finish on USA.
Yeah.
With people, someone likes the idea. So you know Caleb Evans?
No.
He's very, very smart. You don't like the founding father, so you don't like him. He's got a photo of Washington right here on his setup. He's live on TikTok right now. That's
okay. I'm sure we get along great.
Yeah, he's very good. He was very interested, so yeah, I was talking about it.
Yeah. We'll do the call We'll do the call either tonight or tomorrow. I have time, and I'm really interested in carrying forward the idea. So totally down.
Harding. You guys are okay. So he's anti-League of Nations, which is cool. Unfortunately, he was corrupt. He supported new technology, so I think that's interesting. He supported highways. He had a hands-off approach to the government, which was good, and he was pragmatic on civil rights. Fine, whatever. The problem with this administration was, of course, that he or his friends were corrupt, and that's kind of was the downfall of his admin. And then he died. So
yeah, in 1921, he signed the Federal Highway Act, and then launched the first national highway building program. Which what would we do without highways now? I mean, we literally use them every day.
Yeah.
But yeah, he was very corrupt. But
wait, I forgot to give it to you. I'll give him a C tier.
Oh yeah, give him a C.
Hold on 1 second.
Tech boy, how do you like Arizona?
It's kind of flat, kind of boring, actually.
All right, so if Harding isn't my favorite president, he's pretty damn close. It's really hard. Harding and Coolidge administration are absolutely the pivotal Republican presidents in history. Calvin Coolidge, and I kind of lump them in the same boat, so I'm going to give them both an X. an S. I mean, they cut the personal income tax rate from 73% to 25%, which drew massive investment. They paid off a third of the national debt. The economy grew at levels 3 to 4% every year, things that we never see today. Economy was booming, business was booming, technology was booming. He cut immigration by 80%. With the Immigration Acts only prioritizing people from Western Europe to preserve the American culture and heritage of the United States. The Ford-McCumber tariff protected our industry, made us we continued being the strongest in the world financially and manufacturing wise after Wilson took down tariffs. Warren G. Harding and Calvin Coolidge, I have to put him in the same boat because Coolidge just continued Harding's administration. Wonderful, wonderful presidents, should be a model of how Republican presidents should be today. Everything they did, it's Trumpism, but actually executed in perfect form. And
yeah, honestly, with Coolidge, I have him as an
I
S tier.
think, yeah, Coolidge is much higher. I think Harding, his problem is that he only lasted for 2 years because he was a bum and died and was also corrupt. So,
Stop adding that they're above and dying into everything. Like
Harding, though, Harding is Coolidge. Coolidge is just Harding number 2. They were the same.
Well, yeah, but
same policies.
Coolidge did more. He lasted longer, so that's what.
Yeah, I have Coolidge S.
Coolidge. I'm going to put him in A tier. He cut taxes. He made the Indian citizens. He opposed subsidies. He was bad on flood control, but for the right reason. He believed in American exceptionalism, but also non-interventionist policy. So I'm going to give him an A tier.
Yeah, he signed the Indian in 1924. He signed the Indian Citizen Act, and then granting full U.S. citizenship to Native Americans. At least they're not illegal aliens, you know. So,
I mean, I think that it's fine that he got citizenship.
You know, yeah, I might put Coolidge above Andrew Jackson, possibly. Wow. I'm not sure.
Wow,
because,
for you, that's crazy.
Because
Andrew Jackson, he's better than the founding fathers of this great nation.
Yeah,
Andrew Jackson could be a little bit of a loose cannon. There were a couple things I disagreed with, namely the Indian Removal Act was handled. But on the other hand, Harding and Coolidge refused to confront the Federal Reserve, so that will be played out in my mind. But they're
like if some guy tried to assassinate Calvin Coolidge, he probably just roll over and take it. Andrew Jackson beat the man with his cane. Like I don't see Calvin Coolidge beating a man with his cane. I think that on a more personal level, Andrew Jackson, it has more aura. Like as opposed to
the ranking is probably Andrew Jackson number 1, Coolidge and Harding 2 and 3. Grover Cleveland and John Tyler, 5 S tier presidents.
I am a loyal Republican, so I'm going to put the Republicans over the Democrats.
They're not the same, Tech Boy.
I'm putting Coolidge. Well, I mean, I put Jackson at C tier, so it doesn't matter. Coolidge is at A tier.
You're like, oh, if the name says the Republican on it, then I vote. It's like, what?
Well, there's from all the presidents that we've had thus far, yeah.
You're the one that was like, I'll vote for the Republican nominee no matter who it
is. In 2028.
Like, what does that even mean?
I was saying that whoever the Republican nominee is, if it's Rubio or if it's Tabu somehow, I'm going to vote for them over whoever the Democratic
I know, but
nominee.
like if it was Hitler.
Well, I was operating in the universe in which Hitler was dead, and I was talking about in 2028, not
someone like Hitler. Whatever. All right. You know what? We got to move on. We're at 2 hours.
We don't have time to vote for this. All right. Herbert Hoover. He invented the vacuum cleaner. Just kidding. But that would have been pretty cool if he did. He had an unpopular tariff. He had mass reputations. He was a deporter. He increased taxes and had tariffs. So that's not that good. He sought to avoid antagonizing the Japanese. Instead, he wanted to ally with them against the Soviet Union. And it did not turn out so well. He got that kind of flipped. He saw that as a much greater threat. And he also lost black support. And, the Great Depression kind of started under him. I'll give him a C. It's not really his fault that the Great Depression started. He didn't do much about it, though. He kind of lost stuff mess stuff up for the Republicans. We got this king FDR coming next, so he kind of screwed us over.
Yeah.
So I'll give him a C, maybe a B.
So unlike Tech Boy, I actually support tariffs.
Look, I'm saying tariffs
no.
and high taxes at the same time. You can't really do that.
No, but we like tariffs. Me and Owen, the two Owens like tariffs.
I know.
So
we love tariffs.
Yeah, he authorized construction of the Hoover Dam, providing immense electricity, water, and jobs during the Depression. So, he was like Superman back then, just giving everybody like jobs, water. So,
well,
that he's going to be an A.
Really?
Wow.
I'm going to give him a D actually. I think we had the perfect Republican administration, Harding Coolidge, 1921 to 29. Hoover gets in there. The first couple months are okay. He's kind of has this messianic complex though, of that, I'm the savior of things. He's a philanthropist and that kind of thing. So when the market crashes, it wasn't his fault. It was the Federal Reserve calling in loans after extending credit way too far. What?
It's also the fault of people back then when they were putting this stuff in the market. They weren't putting like 10% of whatever they had in the market. They're putting their entire life savings
just talking over everybody. Tech was like Zeke just talking the whole time.
Zeke?
I know he's been fine tonight. Usually he goes on 5-minute tangents, but it's okay.
These aren't questions about me, so
okay, hold on. Herbert Hoover, when the Depression happened, he handled it terribly. Instead of getting rid of the Federal Reserve, he was too scared to do that. He went and met with leaders of big business and said, "Don't lower your wages," which was terrible because then they laid off a bunch of people. The unemployment rate reached 25% in one of those years, at maybe 32 or 33. Income taxes were raised way up high. Liberal Republican, still better than what was to follow, but really destroyed our momentum. So I'll give him a D. Not very fond of Mr. Hoover.
I mean, to be fair, if Coolidge was president when Hoover was president, he would have done the same thing, which was nothing. So doing nothing at the time of Coolidge was fine, but Hoover, he might have been a good president if he were born in a different time.
Okay, Zeke.
No, it wasn't that he didn't. It wasn't that he did nothing. He did too much. Doing nothing always works.
Yeah, like Biden. Like Biden. That's what he's going to be an S tier.
All right, let's get to
Biden
FDR.
intervened in the economy, though. Biden continued, intervention policies, kind of like Obama. But yeah, if you do nothing, if you just let the market handle itself, things usually go much better.
All right, let's get to FDR now. Yeah, good foreign policy. I have the unpopular opinion, I guess, that fighting World War II was a good thing for us. And beating the Nazis was a good thing. I don't know how popular that is around here, but I think beating the Nazis was a good thing. Beating the Japanese was a good thing. Domestically, terrible president. He extended the Great Depression. He introduced all sorts of random government programs that did well in the short term, but kept getting extended, kind of like what we have today, like income tax when Abraham Lincoln introduced it. Now it's still here if you don't like that. In 1932, he cut military spending, so, it's not very good when the world's about
Never
to go
a good idea. Yeah.
To increase, to cut, yeah. He packed the court and nominated William O. Douglas, who destroyed America. Listen to some of the cases that William O. Douglas ruled on. He established this judge in 1965, the constitutional right to privacy, which was foundational to Roe v. Wade, Lawrence v. Texas, which unfortunately took away sodomy laws, and Obergefell v. Hodges, which made gay marriage legal in the United States of America, which is very unfortunate. So really, FDR kind of destroyed the heart of America to the things that we still see today. I mean, Roe v. Wade was just overturned a few years ago. So tons of liberal programs, destroyed America with the Supreme Court nominees. He increased government spending, and he was president for far too long because the Republicans were incompetent.
Yeah, FDR created Social Security and the Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation, FDIC, to protect citizens futures and savings. But yeah,
Oh, yeah.
he did
Yeah.
create Social Security, which is a good
I
thing.
forgot to give him. I'll give him D because I mean at least he won World War II and
Yeah, I'll give him a D.
Yeah, I'll give him a D.
I'm gonna give him an F. He's my third F tier. Bro, come on, man. Everybody.
I mean, at least this one makes a little bit of sense.
You know what?
At least this one makes some sense. Okay, I mean, it's not like
It does.
It's
But
not like
you know
we're putting
what?
Washington down there with this.
You know what? I don't want to leave Owen alone.
This
I'll
one
throw him
makes
as an F2.
Yeah, I mean this.
You don't have to give me a pity vote. Come on.
No, I'll give you a pity vote. It's fine.
That would make some semblance of sense. Like if someone came up to me and said FDR was an F tier president, I'd be like, okay, sure. I just like
nothing he did was good, Tech Boy. Nothing he did was good.
Winning World War II was good.
No, first of all, we'll start in the 30s. The Great Depression lasted until 1941. The war was the only thing that took us out of the Great Depression. His policies sucked. He grew the federal government. I think he made the national debt go up by 700 and something %, the most of any president. Packed the court. Stopped interpreting the Constitution by how it should be. He said that it's a living document and it's preventing us from making the government bigger. He's a socialist, communist, dictator. Wicker v. Filburn, Owen Thompson, you got to hear this case. This is why he should be an F. And Tech Boy, you too. You probably know about it, but
I gave him a D.
FDR took down tariffs, and it caused farm prices to drop. But then he created the Agricultural Board, which forcibly made farmers. They said, "Hey, farmers, you can't plant more than 11 acres of wheat on your property because." That's going to hurt the marketplace and drive prices down, even though it was the tariff thing. And so this farmer was like, I'm planting 22 acres. He was fined by the government. And he came to the Supreme Court and said, this food is only for me. I'm feeding my family. I'm feeding my livestock. How can the government tell me how much wheat I can grow on my own property? And so the Supreme Court that FDR, manufactured, went to the Commerce Clause, which gives Congress the power to regulate commerce between states, and said, well, what you're doing by growing too much wheat on your farm isn't technically violating interstate commerce, but while you're growing all that wheat, technically you could be buying other people's wheat. So that indirectly affects interstate commerce. So therefore it's interstate commerce. So by that logic that the Supreme Court used, the government can say, you can't sleep for 7 hours because if you sleep for 7 hours, you could have used 4 hours to go out in the marketplace and buy things. So it's a dangerous precedent because under FDR, it was set that anything that affects interstate commerce, the government can regulate.
So I can sue people for wasting my time? I mean, that might actually be useful.
Yeah. Sure. No, that's like the word. That's a dictator. That's socialism.
Oh yeah, I didn't say he was a good president. I gave him a D.
And then we've got involved in World War II, started funding the Allies where we had no business in that. We knew about we provoked Japan. Then we knew about the attack in advance, and then Roosevelt didn't tell anybody because he wanted to get involved in the war. Millions of people died in World War II. Millions of Christians brought down the British Empire. We had God's providence because we entered later in the war and we didn't take as much of a hit. But
that
absolutely
makes him an F. That makes him an F.
He's an F.
I gave him a D because I am pro America in World War II and in all the wars actually. So
did you say you're from America in World War II?
I said I'm pro America World War II.
Oh,
let's get to Truman, who did one of the bravest acts, of course, one of the best and bravest things by dropping the atomic bomb. It saved American lives, which should be the military's first and really only priority in the war.
Killing children is so nice.
Oh my gosh, here we go again. Here we go. Yes, the United States should have actually sent there and sent our own soldiers to die in Japan to like
the Hiroshima and Nagasaki.
Make sure they shoot every one person so they don't hurt one child or whatever. No,
Could have
atomic
taken
bomb
out their military targets, but
was
okay.
the greatest. Look, they dropped one bomb first, and then they didn't surrender. So I mean, it's kind of on them. They were delusional
We
people.
dropped at
They
Hiroshima
did
and
what needed to be
Nagasaki.
done. This was one of the greatest, most patriotic acts ever done by an American, and I salute him for that.
That's sick.
Unfortunately,
For killing children.
unfortunately, I'm not going to be psyoped into this. Unfortunately, he surrounded himself with incompetent people. He called Senator Fulbright Senator Half-Bright, so he's calling people names like Donald Trump. Great on foreign policy, bad on domestic policy. He wanted to advocate for national health insurance. He created the Air Force and the CIA, some of the greatest institutions of our time. So
not the CIA, buddy.
I love the CIA. I love the CIA. They're like I think they're my second favorite spy agency. So yeah.
Owen.
We're on Truman.
Yeah. We're on Truman.
Yeah, he desegregated the United States Armed Forces by using the Executive Order 9981 in 1948. Besides that, he bombed Hiroshima and Nagasaki, and he killed innocent children. And TechBoy thinks that's right.
Yep.
But yeah,
the framing of that is just.
I think that's a F.
Oh my gosh!
You're killing children for no reason. Like that's horrible.
Yeah.
Oh my god! This is just
all right.
weaponized language against me. It doesn't really work. I almost forgot one more thing.
You were literally you're a Democrat on foreign policy, a traditional Democratic hawk.
He supported the United Nations, which is also bad. So.
Yeah, the United Nations bad, NATO bad, atomic bomb bad, domestic policy bad.
That's an F. Like, see, that's all F word.
Oh my gosh! We should debate the atomic bomb later.
He had the lowest approval rating of any president in history. He hit 22% in February of 1952.
So Owen, he's your F. He's an F, Owen.
He's. The reason I'm not going to put him in F, the F category is strictly for presidents that I think did irreparable damage. Harry S. Truman didn't continue the damage of Roosevelt. He was just Roosevelt number 2. So he's very low D minus. I know we don't have that category. If George Washington is D plus, Harry S. Truman is D minus.
First, putting someone that bombed kids in the same category as freaking George Washington and all the founding fathers.
Bombed kids. My gosh.
Kids. Like
he did bomb kids. There's a
proxy. I mean, yeah, there's some kid in Japan. Yeah, technically.
The reason George Washington is in D is because I think that he sent America down a bad course. Harry S. Truman continued a worse course than George Washington. But was just yeah. That's why George Washington is top D. Truman's bottom D.
D presidents.
Hold up,
kings right now.
Tech boy. D tier presidents made America worse than they were when they started off. George Washington made our country worse, and
he
so
made the country. Like his slogan was "Make America."
C presidents keep the status quo. D presidents actively make things worse. So let's move on to Mr. Eisenhower.
Eisenhower, he's okay. Again, one of the more overrated presidents. He was a progressive Republican. He accepted the status quo. I mean, the Democrats wanted him, the Republicans wanted him. And whenever there's a bill that passes in the Senate that's bipartisan, it's most likely to be bad.
Yeah,
I'm gonna give him a B because he gave us like the highway system. He gave us NASA. He was against the military-industrial complex, which is I think that's bad. We need LGBTQ. We need Lockheed Martin. We need Boeing. We need Raytheon. We need Texas Instruments. We need Qualcomm as well. So we need those people. Like I don't care what Maria Comstock has to say. I'm gonna give him a B.
Yeah, created the interstate highway system. Revolutionized American travel, commerce, and national defense. But yeah, he's a D.
Yeah, I'm gonna agree.
He was out.
He was a pro-UN, managerial, progressive Republican,
Sure.
barely a conservative, pro-UN, pro-NATO, pro-containment theory, did a lot of covert CIA operations. What saves him from being F is, unlike the Democratic Party of at the time, the Democrats were the war hawks. They were the ones sending our troops to die in Korea and later in Vietnam. There wasn't a single military casualty under Eisenhower. The Republicans, although both parties at the same time in the 1950s were sucked into this internationalism, the Republicans were the more peaceful, America first of the two. But Ike's domestic policy very much continued Roosevelt's and Truman's, just a little bit less radical. He was content with the New Deal welfare state. I don't see a lot of saving graces for him, other than that he didn't actively send our children to die in war. So for that, he's a D.
I almost forgot this. He was kind of lazy too. Like, he didn't even drive. He didn't dial his own phone number. He did help create a lot of stuff. He helped create the highways, the internet. He supported coups. He loved the CIA. He supported space. Hard on China. So that's why I'm going to give him. I give him like a lower B.
Last thing too, you might disagree with this. This is not me coming from a racist perspective, but Brown v. Board of Education was one of the worst Supreme Court decisions because it allowed the federal government to get involved in matters that were very, very, very reserved for the states. Department of Education comes out of this ruling saying that no school can be segregated. That's a big deal. I'm not actively saying we need to resegregate our schools, but I think it should be up to local communities and states to decide rather than the federal government, which later used that power to create our brainwashing curriculum today. So,
well, yeah, the problem with that is that if a bunch of racist white people want to get out and segregate, fine. But that means that a whole bunch of black people are going to start segregating too. That means I'm going to have to end up in one of those schools, hypothetically, if I'm like living in there. And I'm going to die or get shot and be around all these like annoying, like super woke people. So that's why I don't support segregation, because, the whites kind of moderate the radical blacks.
I don't support segregation. I think it should be up to personal preference.
Yeah, I was saying, like, if we allowed that, what we're going to see is a separation between the white communities and the black communities. And it's going to see all forms of radicalism and extremism, or have people like the Ku Klux Klan leading the whites and people like Jasmine Crockett leading the blacks. And, the moderate people are just going to be sucked into those sort of groups.
Yeah, no, I agree. I'm not pro, state.
Well, I'm not saying you're pro segregation. I'm just saying that I think that making segregation illegal prevented that from happening.
Yeah, but it allowed the federal government to do a lot more. So let's get to
according to you, the best president would be like a rock with eyes on it. And
no, I mean, I love national defense. I love big military. I love.
Well, I mean, you like the military in theory, but whenever they have to do something, you're like, hey, we don't want that.
No, I believe that the military should confront threats very strongly, but very rarely, because I think that military is an issue of national honor. There were a couple wars that we should have done. Revolutionary War. Let me see. What else? Let me think about this one for a while. World War II, I mean, we were attacked, so we kind of had to do that. And Afghanistan, we were attacked. The Twin Towers were knocked down. We should have knocked the shit out of Al Qaeda. So those are the three wars that I think, use our military force in. And I'm all for it.
None of the Indian wars that got us, like, the entire West is, we shouldn't have had those.
Not with the U.S. military. I think with settlers.
No, we should have sent out Davy Crockett out there with a shotgun to go defeat the Indians, guys.
Well, I'll be willing to debate this one a little bit. I can see that the military could be sent in for, when it's too much of a threat confronting the settlers that they can't handle it themselves. Yeah, I'm for the military in that case. I wasn't really thinking of that with your question. I was thinking of foreign wars, but no, I'll agree with you on that to an extent.
Cool.
But
all right, now let's get to Kennedy, again, one of the more overrated presidents who died. But even if he didn't die, overrated. Hard on communism, which I like. Anti-colonialism.
I wasn't really thinking of. What was that?
Whatever. Anti-colonialism, like trying to relations with third world African countries. What benefit does it have us to have a great relationship with Chad? Who cares what Chad is doing? No one. He rejected Operation Northwoods, which is cool. The CIA was doing some pretty cool stuff, with the cats, and he cut taxes. I'm gonna give him. I'll give him a C.
What about you, Owen?
Kennedy. Established the Peace Corps, sending tens of thousands of Americans. Sorry, someone told me they're joining the stream. Okay, sorry. Established the Peace Corps, sending tens of thousands of American volunteers aboard the developing nations. So he did get shot. Tech Boy brings us into everything, thinking it's
He died.
No, wait.
What a loser this guy
Thinks
is.
it's hush, Piggy. I'm talking.
Yeah.
But he thinks it lowers their rank, but how good of a president was. He is a little overrated, but I think we're gonna put him at A.
A little. Everyone glazes this guy.
I'm gonna
I
put
like
him in
Kennedy.
D.
I don't know.
I'm putting him D.
Really?
Yeah,
I like
down there in
Kennedy.
Washington.
Yeah,
He's
he's down
at
with
Washington,
He's down
bro.
with Washington. He's worse. He was better than Washington.
Oh my. That's just so disrespectful.
I'm sorry that I'm breaking your guys' dumb liberal or
John F. Kennedy's better than George Washington. This liberal who's out there, having sex.
You just got
with
Tech Boy to stand up in the skinny jeans.
John F. Kennedy didn't actively change our country for the worse. He just kind of kept it on the same track.
Bro, you just made Tech Boy stand up in the skinny jeans. Like, come on.
gosh,
He's
this
in
is-
skinny jeans. I didn't even see
Yes.
that.
This is somehow the second dumbest debate on the presidents that I've ever had. So,
I thought it was
somehow
gonna be
the
like we
top
go
this one.
47 to 1. I didn't think we were like doing it like this, a tier list. I thought we were ranking them all like 47
Oh
to 1,
yeah,
number
I
1.
didn't specify. No, Kennedy, just a dumb liberal, pro-democracy war hawk. Bay of Pigs botched, got us started in Vietnam. Awful foreign policy, bad domestic policy.
Foreign
Just
policy is
another,
great.
just another Trumanite liberal. Prayer in schools was abolished during his term. Yeah, not great. The reason that he's not as bad as Washington is because he didn't actively install a national bank that
I can't believe that's an actual
destroyed the lives
sentence.
of Americans for decades to come. So
I
for
can't
that
believe,
reason, he's a D.
That sentence
I
is
can't believe
crazy.
that's an actual sentence that was uttered.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
Ro is like, who's that annoying black woman or man or whatever? He's like Tanashi Koga, he had slaves, Washington had slaves. You're like my cousin, who tried to get me deplatformed and canceled.
I'm
Bro,
sorry,
how are you
Tech
defending
Boy, that-
JFK?
I'm being intellectually honest, and you're just sucking up. You're
Oh yeah, yes,
you're
I agree.
glazing
I'm
Washington. You're sucking.
yes,
up
I'm sucking up to our greatest president, George Washington. The reason we are sitting here today.
You didn't put him at S, you put him at A.
I put him at S.
Oh, I thought you put him at A. I was like,
No, I
what?
put him in his place. I put him where he belongs.
All right, let's move on. We're really
Johnson
pushing
did
this.
one good thing in his life: the Civil Rights Act. The rest of the stuff sucked. The Great Society, the war and poverty, lost. He spied on the Goldwater campaign, and he signed the Immigration Act of '65. He signed the Gun Control Act that banned mail-order guns, and he lost control of the street in 1967. Honestly, F tier.
Yeah, I agree.
Yep.
Lyndon B. Johnson, one of our worst. Vietnam, dumb war, should have never been there. I bet Tech Boy disagrees for some random reason. But
he's fine with the kids getting killed in Hiroshima and Nagasaki.
That's not.
wait,
not,
Tech Boy, do you support the Vietnam War, and if so, how?
I think so. I don't
I
like
think so.
the idea. I mean, that's one of the wars that you can get me to not support, but as of right now, yeah, I do support the Vietnam War.
What was
I
our
don't
interest
support-
there in Vietnam?
It's our interest to prevent the spread of communism across the entire world.
So thousands and thousands of deaths.
I'm not saying that we
To
handled it
prevent
right.
South Vietnam.
I'm not saying that
from falling
we
to
handled it
communism.
right. We should have maybe done more aid. Maybe we should have dropped a nuke on them. But
Jesus Christ, dude. You loved
What?
war. You're like little
I don't
Lindsey
love
Graham.
war. I love
Little
America.
Lindsey Graham. That's going to be your nickname.
I
from
am
now
Lindsey
on.
Graham.
Yeah.
I love singing the graham cracker.
Okay.
All right, Nixon.
Great Society, travesty, just actively
Yeah, he
assisted in the
destroyed the
decline
family.
of the United States. Civil Rights Act, travesty. I'm sorry. Federal government can't be getting involved in that. Set racial quotas, began the process of DEI. He didn't do a single good thing. He was a weirdo too. He had a nickname for his dick. He called it Jumbo.
That's kind of not. That's
He
kind of
did.
horror. That's
I'm
kind
just
that's
telling it like it is.
I
Hey,
mean,
that's
That's
just
not
tough.
aura, Tech
That's
Boy.
kinda
It is,
tough.
but I'm not saying I would do that. It's bad PR, but I'm just saying like it's aura in a sense that he's the president of the United States. He's doing whatever he wants.
Our
It-
Jimbo.
I like how he had people like come meet him, and he'd be like taking a shit, and then like have the door open. He's just a horrible person. He's like,
Well, I mean,
he's one of the worst people ever.
Hey,
Yeah,
Mizell Moshe, can we see your
It's
skinny
like-
jeans?
It's like Donald Trump going in the dressing room or whatever. Like, yeah, who cares?
that was before he was president. Whatever.
All right,
You're called
let's
to
get
a higher
Nixon.
standard.
All right, hey,
Nixon,
Tech Boy. Can we see
Yeah,
your
what?
skinny jeans again?
my skinny jeans.
Yes, bro, you're wearing skinny jeans.
I'm wearing sweatpants.
They look like skinny jeans.
Get better eyes.
You guys like
Alright.
my America shirt?
Oh, man,
I
you
saw
like
that. I was like,
America?
me and you are dressed up. The Owens are dressed up pretty nice, and you got Tech Boy in a hoodie.
Yeah.
What's wrong with the hoodie? At least I have a hoodie and like George Washington. You know.
All right, Mr. Nixon.
All right, Nixon. You know his scandal is so. Oh my gosh, he bugged some headquarters. Who cares?
Yeah, I
Who
know.
cares at this point? He was one of the most popular presidents in American history. He secretly helped civil rights. He spied on protesters, which was cool. He cut welfare, which was cool. Soft on China, not good. He was kind of an environmentalist, and also Watergate again. You know, like he shouldn't have done that, but like I bugged my vice president in high school, and I blamed it on her. He should have done a better job. So I'm gonna give him a B-tier president.
Yeah, he is very environmental. He created EPA. Do we need it?
Do we like the EPA anymore? Like,
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah,
gonna
and then he signed Clean Air Act into law. The hell does that? Like, you can't even clean the air. Like, what are we doing? Like, you just go with the brushing or broom and clean the air. Like, what are we doing? I know it's been almost 3 hours. But
We're
yeah,
getting there.
We will get to
honestly,
every president.
it's a D tier president or a C tier president for me.
I'll give him a D. He talked like a conservative. He wasn't. The welfare state continued under him. He was too powerless to make cuts. He did end Vietnam, but it was over 4 years. Instead of just pulling us right out, which I would argue would be better, and admitting that it was a mistake. He did condemn the Kennedy Truman Democrat era of just sending people to fight in wars for our allies. He said the allies are going to need to do that themselves. We'll give money, but we're not going to send people to fight. So he's better than an F tier. Mainly I dislike him because of his economic policy. We supported Israel at the beginning of his second term in their little 6-day war there, and that really hurt us, our standing with the Arab world. Cut off oil, and then we tried to put in price controls, and that Nixon presidency ended the golden age of America and the great economic expansion from after the war until 1973, and sent us into the 70s. Was just a horrible time. Socially, it was everyone was in a malaise. No one was proud to be an American. The economy sucked. The inner cities were rotting. Just a conservative that didn't follow through. So for that, he's a D.
Well, let's get to President Ford, the only president to never be elected to anything, and there was a reason why. Kind of sucked. He was
Yeah.
politically unsavvy. He pardoned Nixon, which was good to do, but he should have done that after his reelection, not before the reelection. He declined to mention him by name. He created special ed. He didn't bail out NYC, which is, I think that's pretty cool. He was basically pro-choice. His foreign policy sucked. He almost got assassinated by some woman named Squeaky. So,
Oh
C
yeah, that
minus.
was Charles Manson's girl.
Yeah, it's just like he's a rhino, Republican in name only. He's kind of a wimp.
Yeah, he's just
Yeah.
Nixon number
He
2.
didn't do anything. Like Nixon at least had some ideas. Ford just kind of like sat there and was like, eh.
Yeah, Ford signed the Education for All Handicapped Children Act, guaranteeing a free public education for disabled children. I think Tech Boy was in those type of classes.
Sorry, Tech Boy.
But yeah, the hyena laughed it away.
Like
But yeah, I mean, he's a decent president. I'll give him a B.
I'll give him a D. Tech Boy, did you give him a D?
Yeah, I gave him a D or like a really low C. Wow. So who's worse, Ford or George Washington?
George Washington. You're gonna have a field day clipping this. I know.
Oh yeah, this is great for me. Oh, Tech Boy bombs kids or whatever. Yeah, you don't like George Washington. I think
No, I don't.
Yes.
I'll defend it too. I'll do a whole stream next week, and
another
everyone
one
will
of
tune in, and I'll
why
convert
George,
everyone.
the America 250 guys. This is why George Washington sucks actually.
He doesn't suck as a person. I just think his presidency was
Right.
bad.
Jimmy
He was a
Carter.
Mason too. So, anyway, Gerald Ford continued the
I
wage
gave him
and
a D.
price controls,
Oh.
big government, horrible on the economy. Tried to get us back into Vietnam in '75. What else can I say about him? He did preside over the America 200, the bicentennial.
That's not-
He was very patriotic, and he brought Americans together in that way and saying, let's get out of this hippie era and into back into conservative values. He kind of failed at it, but he's not an F, he's a D.
Yeah, okay. All right, Jimmy Carter. He created Asian American Heritage Week, which is now a month. He presided under the energy crisis. He did do one good thing. He deregulated the airlines. He bailed out Chrysler, who failed again. So, maybe don't bail out Chrysler. He was pro-LGBTQ. He supported same-sex marriage and weaponized religion to do so. He got a good deal with Egypt and Israel. He recognized China instead of Taiwan, sadly. And he did nothing when Iran captured our citizens. He just we'll send a little troop there, and they failed, and then nothing happened. So pretty weak, terrible president, low D, maybe an F.
Yeah, mediated the historic Camp David Accords, established a lasting peace treaty between Egypt and Israel. I don't know. That was the only things he did, except for what Tech was said. He's an F.
I'll give him a D because he didn't actively, increase things to ruin the United States. Bro, what is so funny? Oh my God!
You just realized that you compared George Washington to Jimmy Carter.
Yeah, I am. Jimmy Carter is a very bad president. Inflation reached 13.5% in 1980. The economy was horrible. He did bail out Chrysler, which was a really dumb idea. Just another one of these bleeding heart liberals that they think they can manage everything. The reason that he's not as bad as George Washington is that he didn't create a national bank that ruined the American economy and encouraged the development of the Federal Reserve, which has destroyed this country.
Yeah, I can understand. Wait, can we actually talk about how you put Carter over Washington?
Not as a person, just in how
We don't-
much he did. George Washington devastated the United States more than Carter did. He did more damage to the
It wouldn't
country.
be a United States for Carter to devastate if George Washington wasn't president.
Dude, I like George Washington. He did a great job as a general. The
No, I'm saying like if
Constitution
he wasn't president,
Convention was an amazing thing. He didn't execute his job as president well. That was a low point.
All right, let's get to Ronald Reagan. I'm
Reagan.
pretty sure I have some mean stuff to say about him too. He was tough on the communists. Yes, sir. He cut taxes. He lifted the price controls, better missile defense technology. He cut regulations. Unfortunately, the debt soared. But I mean, he was whipping the Democrats. I mean, everyone loved Ronald Reagan. He won almost all the states except for stupid Minnesota, who, of course, is kicking ICE out. So there's that. Probably sort of taken away Minnesota's right to vote. He did all these great things for America. He was tough on the communists, and he really ushered in the Reagan Revolution and the thing that I am, which is, of course, merging the Christians with the Republican Party, the Christian right, which I think is really good. He was anti-abortion as well. He's good with focus on the family. So I think that's a good thing. Good evangelical president.
Wow.
Oh, and he fired the ATC workers, the air traffic control workers.
Yeah.
And opposed action.
He signed the Intermediate Range Nuclear Force Treaty, destroying an entire class of Soviet nuclear weapons. Was against abortion, for going for Christianity in the U.S. He was. I don't know. I think he's an A, but.
All right, Owen, tell us how he's this terrible president.
Well, he's not terrible. He's average. He's much better than the ones we've talked about.
Washington?
He's better than Washington, yes.
At least that has some semblance.
You guys can't use this every time. It's getting old.
Oh, yes, we can.
Oh,
yes,
better
we can.
than Washington? Like, come on.
Yes, we can. We can use this.
It's such an old, tired talking point. Oh,
well, you shouldn't have ranked George Washington a D.
He was. I'm sorry. It's the fact. Ronald Reagan.
Okay, at least put him at like a C or B and not a D.
Ronald Reagan's rhetoric in 1980 campaign was amazing. He restored, a sense of patriotism to America, focus on the family, biblical values. I love. Built up the military really big. I love that. He was a free trader, which I don't like. He failed to execute a lot of his economic policy. His tax cuts were good, but not as substantial as some of those I mentioned under Harding and Coolidge. He extended amnesty in 1986 to a bunch of illegal immigrants, created the problem that we have today. And I am not very keen on his foreign policy, especially in regards to the Middle East, the Iran-Contra affair, and the support for Israel. And this is the beginning of the Republican war hawk era. This is when the Republicans began to be seen as much as a war party as the Democrats. Well, before that, Republicans were seen as the party of peace. So for that, he has a lot of strengths, a lot of weaknesses. He's kind of an average C.
Average C. Wow, okay. And, I like to end off that he, started the war on drugs. And in the address to the British Parliament, he said that the March of Freedom and Democracy will leave Marxism and Leninism on the ash heap of history, which I think is amazing. We don't have too many politicians calling out socialism anymore. So I think that's really good that he called it out straight, direct to their face. All right, Bush 1. I'd like to read you a quote here of George H.W. Bush addressing the National Religious broadcast today. I want to thank you for helping America as Christ ordained to be a light unto the world. Your support honored to the finest soldiers, finest sailors, Marines, airmen, and Coast Guardsmen that any nation has ever known. And what they did in war, let us know to do in peace. Just as our forces fought to defend all of what is best about America, we need you to help instill the traditional values that make life and liberty worth defending. Let me begin with some good news for the modern man. According to Gallup, the Gallup surveys, no society is more religious than the United States of America. 7 in 10 Americans believe in life after death. 8 in 10 that God works miracles. 9 in 10 Americans pray. And more than 90% believe in God. To which I say, thank God. I wish it were 100%. He goes on to say that the decline of family is bad, and he allows Germany, after they reunify into NATO, he oversees the end of the communist era. He invaded Panama, the Gulf War, which was one of the first wars I learned about
Dude,
growing
stop.
up.
Okay, sorry. Go ahead.
I was like maybe like in first grade, so maybe 7 years old, 7 years old when I was in learning about this war in the encyclopedia. Unfortunately, he increased income tax, though he did sign the Americans with Disabilities Act, and he appointed, I say, one of the greatest Supreme Court justices, Clarence Thomas. He's a great man of faith. He sought God's aid while dealing with the nation's problems. Just A-tier president, should have won in his re-election campaign. Just amazing. He might be one of the best.
George H.W. Bush?
Yeah, George H.W. Bush. I mean, I was doing my research on him. Very cool president.
The president neglected our economy while we got involved in stupid wars overseas, wanted to create a new world order, was part of like cults like Skull and Bones, did no service, ruined the Reagan Revolution, and handed the presidency over to the Democrats because his approval rating was so low.
So what's your letter? Which George is better, George Washington or George H.W. Bush?
George Washington is better. George H.W. Bush is pretty damn bad.
Yeah, I have him as a D too.
He's the GOAT. He might actually be my favorite.
What do you have him at S?
I gave him an A.
I'm about to say.
That is wild.
He's not perfect, you know. And let's get to Bill Clinton.
Owen commented just saying, he said good but tired of being hated on for our good takes.
Yeah.
Washington at D is not a good take.
Sure, keep telling yourself that. All right, let's get to Clinton.
I bet the chat agrees with me.
Clinton was an okay president. So let me explain this to you.
What are you saying? Takes are garbage. Holy shit.
That's true.
Let me say,
it's like the worst take I've ever heard.
I said okay. I didn't say it was great. I have tons of criticism of him. Yeah. Look, he had, he had sex under the Oval table or whatever. Like that's bad, right? And I oppose that.
What are you gonna do?
As a Christian, right? Also, he's psyoped by Monica Lewinsky, but like as a politician, that's one of the worst things that you can do. Like the Republicans attacked him for that because obviously it's a free win to attack him on, and they need to beat him. Bob Doyle needed to win his election. Unfortunately, he didn't. But, like as a president, does that really impact how he's able to govern the country? No. Like that scandal has no bearing on if he was a good president or not. I'm just going to get that out of the way. So his scandal is basically irrelevant, just like the Nixon scandal is irrelevant. Unfortunately, he is anti-family values. George H.W. Bush, he focused on the family president. Clinton, he encouraged gays in the military, which is very sad. He was for gay rights. He appointed terrible Supreme Court nominees. But he was tough on crime, but that included the 10-year assault weapon ban, which is sad. He did launch the first official White House website, which is cool. And he balanced the budget and got us a surplus. So very, very low C.
You just said a whole paragraph, okay, but whatever.
Okay, yeah, go ahead.
Wrote an essay about Clinton. No, I don't even think I have to say Clinton. I don't even think I have to say anything. He's an F.
F?
Tech Boy is like he has a picture of Clinton in his room. He's like, I want to be Clinton.
No, he definitely does.
I want to get under the table in the White House.
I don't like.
He wants to be the person under the table. Like, come on.
Yeah, he wants to be the person under the. Yeah, he's very interesting. No, Bill Clinton, I'll give him a D. Very low D. Free trader, foreign interventionist, got us involved in lots of conflicts. Balanced the budget, but at the expense of the U.S. military in favor of useless welfare programs, and was very, very socially liberal. His wife is one of the most ugly, horrible, disgusting women that ever existed.
Well, I mean, apparently some people thought, when he got married to her when she was like 20, people thought she was pretty. I didn't think she was that pretty, but
she was never pretty.
I don't really understand how his wife is relevant to him. Just like him having sex with Monica Lewinsky.
Because she was screaming about policy. It's like, shut up, woman.
I mean, what's he supposed to do? Like divorce her? Like that's even worse.
Yeah, sure. No, you're right. You're right. That's not very family values of me. Also, hated guns, Brady Bill, gun grab. He's not F tier because he's not an FDR or Woodrow Wilson in that he's a defining change for the worst president. Just kind of he's a little bit worse than George H.W. Bush. Not very much though. So for that, I'll give him a D.
Let's get to the guy who has it in his name, W. Bush. I mean, his name is W, obviously. He increased spending, sadly, the Iraq War. He wanted to privatize Social Security, which is a great idea. We'd be a much better place if we did that now, but Congress was incompetent, didn't let him do that. He had a weird relationship with energy where he wanted to have like clean energy, but he also wanted to have oil. He supported constitutional amendments that would ban abortion and same-sex marriage, just like the W he is. He pushed for the Partial Birth Abortion Ban Act, restrictions on same-sex marriage, and increased faith-based initiatives. I'm going to give him a B. You know, he might be like one of my favorite presidents, but I'm going to give him a B.
That's like another garbage take.
Wait, where do you put him?
B? I mean, I was thinking about giving him an A, but I was thinking, yeah, he was also a mixed bag on immigration, so that's also bad.
Do I even have to say
No
anything?
wonder.
I mean,
Yeah, you literally dress in the color of garbage. So what am
I mean, he's better.
So did Donald Trump, and he became president.
He's better than Clinton, but he's still. I don't even think I have to say anything.
No, W. Bush, you have to say something. Yeah, we respect W. Bush out here.
No, we don't.
Think we.
Yes, we do.
Nobody.
I think me and Owen can
W.
walk
Bush,
off.
he supported a ban on abortion and same-sex marriage. I mean, if all Republican politicians did that today,
You said he supported same-sex
a ban
marriage.
on same-sex marriage.
Oh,
But it didn't happen.
Well, yeah, I'm just saying, like he still supported it. I mean, he's a great man of faith. Like I said, as you can see,
Those are the only two good things he has ever done. So I'm gonna put him at D.
D. Okay,
Yeah,
wow.
he's not.
All
much
the
better
Georges are
than
going in
Clinton.
D, I guess.
Look,
George
Bush
Clinton-
got in there and said we need a humble foreign policy. The Democrats are too much of war hawks. 9/11 happens. We should have kicked the shit out of Al Qaeda, but instead we went in there, spent $9 trillion on stupid regime change wars in Afghanistan. Then we launched one in Iraq because he was too dumb to understand that his cabinet was lying to him. Iraq drained resources from Afghanistan. They didn't have weapons of mass destruction. Waste of life and money. Promised to cut programs, but wouldn't even cut money from the National Endowment for the Arts. He didn't cut anything under his term. It was an embarrassment. The financial crisis in 2008 was an embarrassment. He doesn't have very many saving graces. What?
The subprime mortgages, if I remember correctly, that was Clinton's fault, and they just boast under his
It
administration.
was Clinton's fault, but Bush didn't do anything to help once it started. He was for TARP.
Well, I mean, it happened in 2008, so he was basically gone at that point.
He supported TARP, which was one of the worst things ever, bailing out the big banks on Wall Street at the expense of the average American. I can't think of anything he actually did was good. I guess he was a Christian and conservative, but that's I don't really care because it didn't trickle down into his policy. He didn't make any good decisions.
He wasn't as Christian, in terms of policy as I would like. So I'm still putting him in B.
I think me and Owen are putting him in F. I'm joking. I'm putting him in D.
Wow. So
he's a D.
Rank the Georges in detail. We got George Clinton, George Washington, George Bush, and George Bush II.
George
I only have
Clinton.
one in George.
Yeah, his real name's not, isn't it? It was William Clinton. Never mind.
Yeah, what? Who are the Georges
George
again?
Clinton.
Washington, Bush. Oh,
Bush.
there's two Bushes.
Yeah, Bush and George. Yeah.
Both Bushes are worse than George Washington.
Wow. Well, I would agree with that, but I have them in their proper tiers. All right, let's talk about Obama bin Laden.
Yeah.
We have Barack Obama. He basically weaponized religion. In his book, he explained that working through the Black churches as a community organizer while in his 20s, he came to understand the power of the African-American religious tradition to spur social change, which just means radical left policies. Now, weaponizing religion is not bad. Like, if I weaponize religion, it's good because I'm weaponizing it for the good of the United States of America. He weaponized it for bad reasons. He supported abortion. He ended plans to return to the moon. He supported gun control. He made race relations worse. He supported gay marriage. He rejected the Keystone XL pipeline. He permanently banned offshore oil and gas drilling in the United States, owned waters in the Atlantic Ocean, and he wanted a great relationship with the people like Russia and terrorists in the Middle East. So
He was anti-Russia. What are you talking about?
He wanted more warm relationship towards Russia, though.
No, that was Trump.
He wasn't tough on Russia as Reagan. I like my presidents to be tough, not these little pushovers. And who cares if he was black? That's not a reason to vote for somebody. Detail.
Yeah, honestly,
Did you say B tier for Obama?
D.
D. Oh.
Yeah, okay. D down there with Washington.
No, signing the Affordable Care Act, expanding healthcare coverages to over 20 million previously uninsured Americans. Those are like the only freaking things he did. Let's be real.
That's not good. I mean, it increased the price of coverage, and everyone talks about how he droned all these people. Everyone like that's a bad thing. Like the droning was fine, but the rest of the stuff terrible.
He's a D. He's an F.
I wouldn't say he's F.
Obama is my last F tier president. Again, the ones in F are the ones that did extreme damage and changed the fabric of.
You don't have Biden in F?
I don't have Obama's worse than Biden.
Yeah, I can. Well, he's more effective. I mean, Biden was only in there for 4 years.
Obama actively destroyed the United States morality. He presided over the gay marriage, Black Lives Matter, divided us on terms of race, culture, religion, Muslim apologist, just social liberal, infected our country with what I think are evil values. Horrible on foreign policy. I'm against the droning. We went back into Iraq. He's another foreign policy hawk. Not as bad as Clinton, but still he was a hawk.
He wasn't like that good on foreign policy.
He was awful on foreign policy, awful on economics, high taxes, the Affordable Care Act, devastating for healthcare. It's why now Americans find themselves spending 18% of their income a year on healthcare. It was 4% in the 1960s. The only thing that I like that he did was the JCPOA, but Tech Boy hates that, and that's a topic for another day. So for that, he is the fifth president in my F category.
I think he might be the third worst president of the United States, but he does get the distinguishment of being the best black president of the United States until 2044.
He's not even black. He's like half black. His mother was white. So
he's like Kamala Harris. They don't even know what they are.
Yeah, all right, let's get. We're skipping President Trump because.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Do you want to do 2016 Trump and then Biden, or
no? We're merging both Trumps. We did not do Grover Cleveland twice. We're not doing President Trump twice. We're just putting him at the end because he's president right now.
Yeah.
We're going to Joe Biden.
F. I don't even have to say anything.
All right, let me speak about Joe Biden here. He rejoined all these useless organizations like the Paris Climate Accords and the WHO. Of course, he's pro the United Nations. He had these wide open borders, the disastrous Afghanistan pullout. He had a terrible vice president, and he signed the Respect for Marriage Act. And he tried to create a new amendment, the 28th Amendment, the Equal Rights Amendment. And people were like, no, you can't just speak an amendment into power like that. And he appointed Ketanji Brown Jackson, the Inflation Reduction Act. And for some reason, he called the Houthis not terrorists anymore. But there's going to be a day that we long for the days of Biden, because we see these communists and socialists in New York City, like that random woman who just got elected. And what's going to happen is that Joe Biden, because he was practically dead into his term, like halfway through his term, he was trying to be a centrist. Now, he didn't govern as a centrist, but he was trying to be one. He was pro free market capitalism. When you see these communists and socialists in New York City getting elected, like that woman, what we're going to see is if she ever becomes president of the United States of America, one, no one's ever going to tune into C-SPAN again, and two, she's going to destroy this country with her socialist ideology, and we're going to long for the days of Joe Biden. That's the only reason why he's not F tier. I'm putting him in D.
I'm putting him in D because he didn't do as much damage as Obama. You bring up socialists. I hate socialism. I think that it's terrible policy, but I have more sympathy for people that hold socialist views than neoliberals like Biden, because at least they want to try something new and help the people. It comes from good intention.
But it's
Biden,
not new. I mean, it killed lots of people.
well, I new for the United States. I mean, they want to try something. Biden, Obama, Clinton are Democrats that continued the status quo, enriching themselves on the back of the American taxpayer. Crony capitalism pretends that they're for the little guy, but loves the big corporations, loves big tech. Biden worked with big tech to censor conservatives. Um, COVID stimulus money absolutely jacked up prices. Inflation hit the worst that we've seen since Jimmy Carter. We let in tens of millions of immigrants into this country. If he's not F, he's pretty close.
Yeah.
He's the lowest on my D presidents. So yeah, that'll be mine. Oh, sorry, Owen, I didn't let you go. Go ahead.
I said I don't need to say anything. He's an
Yeah.
F.
You
Okay.
gave him an F. And let's get to President Donald J. Trump. Everyone's been waiting for this. We've been here for 3 hours. We finally got to him.
3
All right,
hours
so-
and 2 minutes.
Merging his first and second administrations, he's been in office for about 6 years. He got us the Keystone Pipeline that Obama did not want. He withdrew us from Paris twice, obviously. He rolled back the environmental protections. He prevented abortion in his first term from getting funding, abortion facilities from getting funding, rather. He appointed some conservative justices. I know we're all supposed to be mad at them right now, but it's better than if Hillary Clinton had appointed the justices. We would have Merrick Garland or whatever. He supports ICE and is against the illegal immigrant invasion. There was a Muslim ban way back in 2017. Unfortunately, some weak Christians whined about it, and he kind of reversed it a little bit. But he's tough on illegal immigration. He's criticized NATO. He shifted the course right. He's fired federal employees. And he's anti-trans, anti-woman, and men and women's sports. Unfortunately, he is
Anti-woman. Let's go.
He is against communism, though sometimes he leans to some socialist tendencies, like telling the gas companies to lower the gas prices to $2.50 because he feels like it. He's anti-globalism, and for the faith office, I know everyone. Oh, we don't like Paula White. Oh, she's a bad pastor. Yada yada yada. No, the faith office over there. He has motion. He's been a great president for faith of our lifetime. He's defended the faith of millions of Americans, particularly Christians and the Christians in Nigeria. So yeah, I'm going to give him a B on here. President Trump. The only problem with President Trump is that, of course, he just says stuff he's very funny. Like, he's the first president to say that eating the cats, eating the dogs. That's going to go down in history one day. But he just says stuff like, he'd be on Truth Social, be like, this person died. I'm gonna write a mean post, which I can care about, but people don't like this. Not good PR. The entire civilization is gonna die tonight, and they didn't die. And then there's all sorts of stuff that he says, and he doesn't really follow through. He just be yapping,
Yeah, I agree with that take.
He has some personal scandals. He cheated on his wives, yada yada yada.
Yeah, I don't think
in the primaries, I would have used that against him, but he became president of the United States, so it's irrelevant if he cheated on his wife or not as to how he governs the country. He's a B-tier president.
All right, hold on. My computer's about to die, Owen, so I might die before I'm done with this. But I'd just like to get my piece in real quick, and then you go ahead. Trump, I'm not a supporter now. I've been very critical, especially handling of the Epstein files. His interventionist turn in the second administration is disgusting. The Iran war went horribly, and we lost with this awful MOU. But all things considered, he is the best president that we've had since the S-tier glory days of Warren G. Harding and Calvin Coolidge. He came into office. I love the immigration restriction. I love mass deportations. I love tariffs so much. You know that, tech boy. Highest tariff rates that we've seen in about 80 years. Protected American industry. The money is pouring in. Tax cuts, not super substantial, but it's something. The deregulation is amazing. He's strong, patriotic, big military. Makes me feel proud to be an American. He's B tier for me again because he hasn't followed through on a lot of his promises. He hasn't gone far enough on immigration. He hasn't gone far enough on the economy. I'd like further tax cuts. I'd like an income tax abolished. But overall, B tier. I just wish he was more conservative. But
Yeah, and I wish he was more socially conservative.
Yeah, I mean, so Tech Boy said
And
half the
fiscally.
things that Tech Boy said that all the half the things like his immigration policies are so good. The one thing I don't like is that he says what he's going to do too much to make us vote for him, but he didn't follow through with it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I would like to see more mass deportation, but he's already at his negative mass deportation rate. I didn't want the Iran war speak because he said no new wars, and that's something that happened. Honestly, I probably would put him at A. But yeah, the Epstein files. I mean, there's no Clinton's names in there. Like, there's a lot of people in there. I'm not saying it's justified, but there's a lot of names in there. So I don't know. I think and then the aging Carroll situation. I don't know. That just kind of threw me off on this presidency. But 2016 was peak Trump. Better than most presidents on this list for sure. Top 5 for sure. But yeah, I have to put him at B.
Yeah, I'm going to put him at top 10. I mean, I wish, maybe not top 10, top 15. I wish that he, banned abortion, banned gay marriage, banned LGBTQ, pipe dream, I know, but at least he's done some decent stuff for faith as well.
But if we separated the two years that the first term and second term, I think the first term for most of us would be an A.
I think both terms are pretty good.
I don't think he went far enough in the immigration thing in the first term. There was that
He didn't get all ball.
And he capitulated to the Democrats with the border wall funding. He wasn't as strong on tariffs either in his first term.
The first vice president was better, though. Mike Pence is better than Vance.
No, Mike Pence Vance is way better. Vance
Mike Pence is amazing.
I like
Pence
Vance
is an idiot. Mike Pence
Mike Pence, I feel so bad for him. I feel so bad for what happened to Mike Pence, but
I like Vance because he's not opening his mouth too much. Because what if he wants to run for president? He's not opening.
He's been opening his mouth for the past weeks. He's been on The View. He's been on all these podcasts.
He's not doing it as much as Mike Pence.
Mike Pence opens his mouth to like 3 people listen. That doesn't matter. Like,
I don't know.
Mike Pence is a free trader. He's a traitor. You see what I did there? But he does not care about American sovereignty. He is for big business. He's not a populist. He's a weak man, uninteresting, awful.
He is very Mike Pence should be, if he were to become president, be probably the greatest president of my lifetime.
All right, we're gonna end there. Thank you guys.
All right, thank y'all so much, guys.
Thanks for coming on, guys.
Well, thank you for having me back. Second time in a row.
This was a great one. Even though it was 3 hours and 9 minutes, we still have 2 viewers
I gotta take
here.
a photo of that. I gotta take a photo of that.
Wow,
sweet. Well,
my takes are the most sane, guys.
Nope, not if you don't put George Washington in D tier. They're not sane.
Yeah, but hey, let me know when you want to call Owen. We can do it today, tomorrow, or whenever.
Yeah, let's do that tomorrow.
You are definitely getting
the audience
back.
that is still here. Me and Owen
Jimmy
Thompson
Carter's
are
better than
planning.
George
Hold on,
Washington.
Tech Boy, I'm talking.
Sorry.
Quiet, Piggy. Me and Owen Thompson are planning great things for Finish Line USA. We're going to take this to places that you've never even dreamed of and never seen before. So stay tuned for that. It's going to be special. But happy America 250, guys.
Happy America 250. Happy 4th of July, everybody.
4th of July, everybody. Wow.
250, that's crazy. I was just in Europe, and that was like BC.
Right.
Like.
Yeah. All right. Thanks, guys. Have a good night.
Thank you.
Bye. George Washington's the best.